African poet.
Alright, we say Yemo Bibiara Kwabende, we are bringing from Kastle 90.3 FM, the biggest conversation in the whole central and western regions. Aha, Mimman Hodo, we are bringing Yatina Sa, Yerbezi, Enkomo, Afa, or my Concron Ghana home. Now, and a lot of issues, and the Friday, in fact, issues Womupa on the area Britanase. Now, was Chwegwa Festival because all very interesting issues are was your Bejawa Wintre. Ewo home. Everybody streaming live on Facebook Kastle 90.3 FM. Them also on the YouTube Kastle 90.3 FM. Platform where they do messages in the active. WhatsApp and text message for 0244 743 143 0244 743 143. Now for messages in Fafado na ENZ in common. And His Excellency the President of the Republic. Why reply? Oh yeah, in Ankasi Enya Manasseh Awuni Azuri that Zoom Lion contract will not be continue. Intended contract no butchum. Zoom Lion contract no butchum na was the the various assemblies no na wa award or a contract with regards to sanitation issue. Ghana Registered Nursing and Midwives Association and they one national president Wabakasa based on a fruitful meeting that they had with Parliament Select Committee on Health, and they will announce suspension of their strike action. Yebezo Incomo. Now in a jiffy, Mabo the Attorney General and they are on the pay around 11 a.m. press conference. The scandal Sibia Orokodo Ewo National Service Secretariat, National Service Scheme. A time came ghost names, and there is more revelations to that. Enti yebeti the Attorney General press conference why and in semibia ozi tu igwa and wiabri. Enti wiabri we have issues are very interesting so our there edumudi shemibi. We are talking about 560 million Ghana cedis. 560 million Ghana cedis. Now, more the breakdown to every year biara sika or NSS allegedly through ghost names and then other schemes. Sabe what the bo or many chrono allegedly, because now no one for call a competent court of jurisdiction no ombon kwedu until we are using the word allegedly. More year by year sika win ewo on the African one using komo Maminda me production team ase headed by Mr. Bernard Ogo Osman FKK Damaso and Blackus on yana to Facebook then YouTube Kastle 90.3 FM. Like the page, share, now leave your comments. Men can infer more. As then be in comment Jumokua and they were so Yanasen area bree Rich Royal Hotel the member Yanenti. There Yamia Duma Sunday or your Father's Day or into Sunday and ye opapa and ye nunko na wasuke jine kakra. As a celebrate dad in Grand Star at Ridge Royal Hotel. Package no odo super and you musuum sike kume bi na ebotia dem reyenem yenamu yeyemon damaso eni nejamu yenye emfamo on demara. Ridge Royal Hotel was second Ridge Ewo Cape Coast Frey 0312003222 and 0501672908. In fact, to be a father is not easy. And now we ogo we Mahama Mbei, I want to pampas are noko. With me one of afro. I say pampas are so. And they be said that large, medium, and other small size. And there's a boo rough. And they attest actually when there was malaria, I was winning peduanum. Man called to a drubiara, no on soon yarabano. Call Kajilonat Nanom. All leading pharmaceutical shops across the country. Ebenyebi na ano. Enti Pedro Papa Pala wa kill malaria. Wa bra a competent person. Wa test wa hwede ampa. E malaria ni bia. Or ye lonat. Na what's a bonoma? Mr. Didier. Boboye pa. Fufura twitwinye. Ama edun wetum azov. Na etum na akil malaria. Lonat scatter malaria. High Sense 2025 High Sense General Campaign Gudoro Kodo on into television, refrigerator, chest freezer, air conditioners, smartphone sound system. Nini be in a pair wabra or your energy efficient. Best in quality, durability, or your High Sense one product. Ghana ha all the 16 regions. Ebenya one showroom ni be home. Mankasim waben Blue Hills Restaurant or Antiqua. The master one you Pacific Filling Station when you need in Fred High Sense ewa humedu 030255 0000 030255 High Sense everyday prices for everyday people. Tell us too much money promo no and they was an asha Now what say every day you can win up to 100 Ghana cedis, weekly 20,000 Ghana cedis, and 1.2 million Ghana cedis the grand prize. Yes, you heard it right. 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Remember that's star 500 hash star 500 hash or visit Telecel Play app. Now for official Telecel too much money promo no more. Telecel connecting energies. Damaso and Anointed Engineering Services Limited. Anointed the member Nyanenti. The ND were specialized in sales, repairs, rentals, and installation of generators. Or from 5 kVA to 3,000 kVA, backed by 5-year warranty. There were over 20 branches across the country. Cape Coast or Tantry opposite the main lorry station, close to Republic Bank. For 0248 0248 48 5697 and 0243 480334. Anointed Engineering Servicing Generator Expert. All right. In Jumoku, Eyunum, and Afufrubi Okaon, Echimaba, na Mebezu on Komo Mizacho, Game Park, Damaso in a bet way. When you know so, Warubua, Elho. On the second part of the show, Nunsunumaba, na Mebedi, one who does say, Meze Acho, Alhaji Osman, what na say, Alhaji, Kolafia,
by this time.
I'm me that any time, yeah.
Kolafia, Chenanopa.
Ne area.
Yabre Sandarana.
Sandarana.
Rana Yivia.
Oh, okay.
So Sandarana.
Sanukade.
Chino Colas. I had the vim as a Canadian. I can't submit it.
But I have been Bibiaboko.
Oh, yes, Bibiaboko.
And the issues were
some of the dozen. Some of the dozen.
Yeah.
Some of the dozen. But it was expected. Revelations nana no mu yaram kakra. But in some of the dozen, and you were gonna had in yet the sort na answer for fra. No cheddar any answer.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's in same on your positive news. Sunday Waka mixed bag.
Yes.
And a breaking news for Wendy, which was a good news.
Yes.
So yet it tomorrow so
on your
palatable.
But Alaji Jinaduma on nurses one striker and they were suspended. No, Mamini the PRO for Gene RNMA in Kazi Incomo or Joseph Cramper. Wahumano. Hey, Cramper, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Papa Miji Devi Abribiaboko. Oh, Christ Nadum, Yahuye, Ewo Cape Coast and Impotim.
Yo,
na endeda yatide okoshia the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and the national president of the communique about Abontin. Endeda wakra no okosidan and then they was suspend the strike no.
No, ya da mo se bebre. Akwanya de mamenchia timamo for any nurses and midwives. Omo GRNM asini na ye na omo se omo support leadership na omo su na omo su no say ye ni animo no omo timi boy chidom na ye timi akoduru ba bia ye du ye da mo se president spear da mo mo hunu adwuma pa ye na mo ni atem na mo encourage ye no ye da mo se de bre me ni ando na ye ko ye na I say Parliamentary Select Committee on Health no who say ye na ko no na enkoyi mpanyinfo asɛbi ɔmo adwene mu bie na yato aban yi wɔ mo na ɔmo akɔtena ase a ɔmo na ɛhwɛ apɔmuden so na nsɛm sɛ yɛaba no megye di sɛ ɔmo ka ɔmo to ano to mu a na ɛnyɛ yie ɛno nti na ɔmo to nsa frɛ yɛ ma a yɛkɔtena ase yɛkɔɛ nso ma ɔmo bisa asomɔ deɛ ɛwɔ hɔ no yɛkyerɛkyerɛ ɔmo mu nyinaa na mmuaeɛ ɛfiri hɔ baeɛ ne nkitahodi a yɛdiiɛ no na ɛfɛ ani yie ɛma akoma ɛɛkɔ fam ɛno nti na maame perpetual so and then in council so she about to say Yamia Adama or China, less in the midwives and be away to be on Quajuma.
All right. But Ghana for Bebreno will feel that the nurses and midwives and will take an untrained position. Was that the case?
Ghana be mobile, but the only a Juma Lumua. Who is the other form? Condition of service and illegal. A bayan Kasam Rawa Homano, so unions need now Ghana, teacher for the doctor for the pharmacy for the Wamo, will be our condition of service. Bino, you need Kastle not the idea, Mrasha no said, or implemented the Yasan Edge tomorrow. The other Naka said now, Mompes or mobile implemented, they can charge drop budget or what you are budget. My children should move me, you say. no credit, anything a cost strike, you know. A man no credit, the other day, the number you for no canoe, then no credit. And then change position, and they are taking them. Now you're fighting for our rights as citizens and employees of the country. Yeah, Juma. That's the Juma no not in Yabia. They're not in one pound for share budget in Mudia. Then they indirectly they were telling us that Yajuma no here. If you are tuned to Scopa, not here no more.
But there have been several meetings with the Minister Labour Commission. Are there a conclusive bargaining now until the Parliamentary Select Committee came in? Then we take a stand on your position.
But that's it. But yeah, we are doing never tell when team no be a two kind cover. Also, what you see by the Amobeda in our hotel near you. Can't see Kenya now, Motia. Quite the first way you see, not actually who said, Omontiaka Sikano, by the Amobeda crowd, Monia. I don't think so because I find. And it is a ministry no di kan ka say o mo capture ye budget no na yi na say chiri ye hu say no correct o capture ye dia. There was no need, and no matter how many times we sat, say 600, it wouldn't say Labour Commission. So, why you were mad? What my you? That's a different sort of cost tracker, especially essential service provider. On the cost tracker, they should notify the NLC within 7 working days. And some of them are shall say, yeah, actually command. And then see, Brandon so labor law also cafe. Or more provide essential services. So more may have the about more no money employer no casa. Except within 72 hours, we labor commission no continue employer no to implement what Nina be about. Yana team from a monitor was illegal. If you know or the court now. Yeah, the year no. The procedure made that honor. I was here fast of the cost strike and you pass up as a pass and some of my carrying. One way, what strike of Ghana, how Marcus say illegal. And then no more, I said, other ministries and night and no can be mom. I don't think I am the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, but you for a woman in before woman or Martin Young. No more do money, I see from so or mobile freight, I'm a BBR to try ye. Anything Yamiabum, your mark and answer a certain. And then as they are here, young on some almost out the unquestioned mountain.
Okay, so with this current decision, Abe, there still negotiations will be going on. This you consider ban until the next negotiation, and if they a conclusive stand on your request, are we to see another strike action by the association?
Yes, strike away Nankasana suspension. You suspended because you can't terminate me. And somewhere you got to win now. What can you or much you cry? I know the BBA cost to come out. Now, you're in an answer. And on the 26th of June, he said, the better for 12 years. In the year where we say, tell you to make a say, I quite a more than some more password. You didn't say they do another answer. I could come now. I'm going to find in now, man.
So the assurance was that by then, and a way to negotiate that or implement and now will be implemented be another or
a year Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and the JACA. Solution to the problems we had. It is from there we will see the way forward and act accordingly.
Okay. And the considering Yami Adomochina nurses won't resume their various facilities. Now one share a year full.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a baby or Cramper for this quick input as I mean. And repayment Bibiana Bassana Bawunchembio. All right. Yeah, that's a baby. Ebusi all right, Joseph Cramper. Ono PRO Zima Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association. Ikubatano wani piaro wani kasamafo ena yenyine kezi inkomo ewon and pay your born after no that oyanza and they was suspend or yet one strike with the releaser was about abontin ewo eho but my min can release no kakra enfantro na yewia inkomo ne ze odoso pa min can release no kakra enfantro and the area bri na onye easy. Okay. All right. So I'll say the leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association embarked on a roadmap of industrial action and on 2nd June 2025 with the wearing of a red armband, followed by withdrawal of outpatient department, that is OPD, and emergency service, which culminated into the total withdrawal of all nursing and midwifery services on 9th June 2025. Our demand from our employer was simply to have the collective agreement of Ghanaian nurses and midwives, which was signed in May 2024, duly implemented without any further delay. Having monitored the misinformation, disinformation, and the propaganda that we have surrounded our strike action, the leadership of the association would like to set the record straight on the following. We are nurses and midwives trained to provide essential health services to the Ghanaian population, and matters affecting us which are brought formally to the attention of the employer must be treated with the agency it deserves and in good faith. As nurses and midwives, we do not take delight in seeing our patients suffer. However, we cannot take good care of ourselves. We cannot take good care of others when the system does not take good care of us. The GNRNMA is a non-partisan professional association and trade union and the holder of the collective bargaining certificate covering all nurses and midwives in Ghana. In these 65 years of existence, the GNRNMA has never aligned with any political party in Ghana. Rather, it has worked with every government since 1960 in building a stronger and more resilient health system responsive to the health needs of Ghanaians, while at the same time representing the interests of nurses and midwives in matters related to their welfare and general working conditions. Considering all that has transpired from 2nd June 2025 in relation to the pleas from the good people of Ghana, our patients, and the timely intervention of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, the leadership of the association wishes to state as follows. The engagement held with the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and other interested parties on Thursday, 12 June 2025 was very fruitful and has paved the way for an amicable resolution of the impasse with our employer concerning the implementation of our collective agreement. In view of point 1 above, the GNRNMA's industrial action initiated on 2nd June 2025 is hereby suspended pending the outcome of the follow-up meeting scheduled for 26th of June. We call on our dear nurses and midwives to resume their normal shift duties from Saturday, 14th June 2025, and assure you that we will not rest on our oars until the collective agreement is fully implemented. We are thankful to the chairman, ranking member, and other members of Parliament Select Committee on Health for their timely intervention to set a clear framework for the implementation of our collective agreement. We are equally grateful to the nursing and midwifery fraternity for the deep sense of solidarity in adhering to the roadmap. Okay, so this is the final pointer. Was stressed. So Alaji, the PRO, and they were confirmed that this is the decision for now they have taken. They have suspended the strike, not a total call off.
Yes, Kwame, no, good news. Good news, because that was what we've all been advocating for. At least one koyi juma, na one sounds one share in Penyufona, one zoom common. Now, even your two parties are when you know, Bia Jina baby day. Empada yam physical balance no yazi yen sabaka na de be yam physical stability no yazi bibi baka wa yam plan for ibi so say me conditions to say a meter me so me nkonko ye adwuma. In fact no che wotu mo hye na wo compromise hono. And a compromise in the bar. So man Ghana yenya years money o. These are nurses for we Ghana fo, o we busuafo. Nurses for na so po otum wo yere mo ye. The man politicians see someone else we busuafo, government officials also on kofo. Onya bia no botuma ko private clinic. Inso no mo be hia in there. At the end of this asune bien wo kwa. Oya asase no and obre. Which assassin or brand, it affects both politician and then technocrats, including even the nurses, And for me, some working here it is okay. And I love their statement, to re-emphasize the point today. You must have worries, one year based on politics. That might be more can come in sometimes. I mean, my own boy, because we've been away quick see. My ministers, no, medical doctors now, the one service condition of their service, what should be honest was number one. And someone if they are demanding for some of these things now. When you be young one to be the young who be that. Ministers one J clean allowance. And tell them Canada who could one center. But now some sort of
the health workers union. One is the obey implement.
Yes.
Tewu no Tutak.
Yes.
And Utah. Yes, one research allowance, it is being implemented.
So they are in the same bracket. Yes. It should also affect the other areas, And for me, I'm happy about it today. CCR my sanity will prevail in this issue. And your best minister, the labor union, and I feel so is it from one Ghana Labour Commission. We continue for sometimes when you are especially the employers, employers being the government, Maybe I say we are not so about coming a young folk
In fact, Ghana Labour Commission, I don't know.
And sometimes a bit I wonder if they are there to support labor, if they are there to support government too. You just don't understand.
Answer a strike in Bako on 1 month notice.
Yes. And
was several notice. Well, but now what address the issue? Strike in Bako where was Yako court?
To come in a good news in the next one back a view. Number walk a table no da. Your best rank a cancra.
Yes.
Me sure on your conditionalities and over meet on another number catch out there. Some of them feel there. It is outrageous. Even so on ma nyansa wom, especially nurses are the rural areas, I want already on yakono. Until so be a honor say money is come and money you and you are more honor. I mean, so we need to entice them. Now we to know we move our such areas, or a good news and a yatin to know. Both parties in now, another all the parties in now on our bado. No more work on negotiation table there. At least one cousin come. No one who man Ghana and a year soon. Years one among Ghana, and we are expecting the nurses, they are supposed to be hardworking. 1 year patriotic. So about patriotic, something must give. Come in a year, you man say, Sikan Yama, I attitude. And then I'm a binchi before pressure. I will tell you, you man say, come as a how do you work?
Vim cry.
You want them. I hear you man say, food or breeze is someone who employ no is someone. How do you feel? You want to say you walk home, but you still feel the pain there. Baby unkoduye. Into na yedwuma nyina no when you sound so the baby the opportunity bar. Me move na mako. Into hwe NCC. In they are moving outside of this country.
Yes.
Abrofu one nesi one po nkrom edwuma po one pe. But send the Ghana had na so compare sikoko UK obenya. What the differences no feel so kwa abuchira. Umfoso wo ho. Enti they say to me say treat one year. Me feel double bond no. Yada nurses for nasi. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association, the one answer there. At least wait to know suspend the strike, go back to the negotiating table. And you can for that. Over to meet for one demand for the meantime.
And see, those in authorities who won't share the word in your mobile Google because a year just a suspension of the strike.
Yes. Make sure that also obey one half.
Yeah. So the next 2 weeks, Wasan Kushia, we should have a good news that strike we are calling off. Yes. Then you would and you may recruit yes, in common way. I don't know, say, you zoom line, say, you NSSO.
Coming at NSS issues, I'll be young one yes. Me focus so much on the NSS issues,
I mean, the zoom line on that, you're interested.
Now, you see, we live in a country where Obia Nyakunya Kwaya Benejuma. The person doesn't even think about Konobe for that. Or no contributing the quota and the effort to help the country. But on all for Canada, no so what to na wakoye ni hunye. Okoye ni hunye in the sense that okope jumana wakwakoye. No opportunity no so what to siphon is car. In fact, obo race car. A Konobe for that no so ben ya no hunwe jumana was a mono. Into Kobanda mana ni fearful way ye. This time when the bonus worry one corrupt act na ebusuafo contract ni bi anyankofo contract ni bi. They do it so well. Mayama konkena ozamon. Now, based on the revelations, Attorney General and then a press conference, Oba Granti or Honum. If you actually NSS more code or Honum, no crime in easy. In fact, some of the charges are young when there was a bomb, Kofuku do a Honum and Abaka court. It be a stealing, conspiracy to steal, willfully causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, obtaining public property by false statement, money laundering. It's almost about 6 counts. And the year there was about Bo Unkofubi in the Ama scandal now way to Wabano. Now, actually, some of them are, in fact, willfully causing financial loss to the state. In one of the allegations, Papa we all can want some. Or say, Oyaza, Madam Gifty Owari Mensa. In the Otumoze NSS, Ibimo Wonidin was a creative company without their notice, and then when one knowledge was also what you see when it's a car allowance or children would do was a mono was the quite collateralized loan from ADB.
Inti Yerichemi ya in 1 hour one national service also the one allowances urbano.
Yes.
Paying business Sikano Waba, but Medisikana Koji loan.
Yes. Odiyensi
Odiyens wade enti imofoma no wobofo car la ko wobedu no anonfa no.
Yes. and I'm not called honoma. These are the facts of the issues or is one common. In fact, what also put me there was also where you see ghosts identities of about 9,934.
Enti Mayor Kenya ye alleged.
Yes. Allegations
yes.
And there was that one. But even for them, it is a fact from the special Attorney General. Fact, I know or is home common. But you don't have such information. Allegedly,
by now, if you good afternoon, or common,
yes, it was in Yimpa 9,934. And also a ghost name, sir. One year system 9,000. 934. Yeah, around I'm for 10,000. And the word was Uguma. In the way you see those identities, you know, what they call pay that ma or illicit loan of 30,698,218 Ghana cedis. And the miske wa konyimpa kor ninchan wo hono. Now say actually the breakdown of Sika Kwamena Ghana ya started the year loose right from 2018-19 no easy. Now I had now sometimes me cry because the venture no oyefe 2018-19 almost about 25,857,836.116 and you lose it to the ghost names you know.
Okay, di nyimpa kuru nuko.
Okay, di bi mo nkotoku. Menya sure do nyimpa kuru ko di nkofu nkotoku. Yes. Now 2019-2020 and I was answer what you do. What be lucrative venture? Into 21,613,962.24. And I also could di nkofu 110. Was answer what you do. I didn't why a friend I want nkofu no. The third year 2020-21 55,670,584.32 and a kogun kofo one kotokum tell me that start today or appreciate to honor. The fourth year 2021-2022 61,383,025.74 you go that year koser. Now baby who the massive corruption, the craziest among all the looting was in the year 2022-2023. Kwamina 350,926,977.12. The year 2023.
And see, the miske they call old currency cinema or bayan.
Kwame no dosu.
Ana Professor Mills back up
pay sikane dosu. Sikane dosu into 2023 we kuya nankasa wo honom. And just last year no 32,881,157.07 and otu mo kwai. Inti the attorney general chirema as kaskane nyina aboma
within 6 years.
Within 6 years no 548 million 333,542.65 Sika Ghana ye lose as corruption
548 million Ghana cedis.
Yes. Into what say around and up back at 550 million Ghana cedis. And ye lose as ghost names only or NSS. Into where your ghost names so on other way staff or who another one qualified. What is fake identification? Now was it check one on far 1 year system no do far 1 year juma. Now what is gonna common? And so now no the next step for Attorney General in there. Or tell what to know about Kwedu no. Now go court now 1 year more investigation and one should they be asking indeed or ghost names so one are there. Nimpa B was on real man. No 1 year qualified, but 1 year second busy.
But according to the Deputy Attorney General, no,
yes.
Ibinima about on board.
Yes.
And they say Attorney General in press conference in Ukraine, Ibinum willingly obey what you want to there. Yes, you can be a witness.
Yes.
Ibinum's what you want the case now. Once or reject one that you cannot be a witness.
Yes. In fact,
I'm on board about
me the posture of the Attorney General. Yes, yeah, pray about Kofu Kwedu. This is okay. But then again too no, second cutting Kofu one chain. If people are willing there, the plea bargaining no. Ya baba na skeba baba kan yansa no. Ya bottom na ye tuna so manu so yen ska. What's the essence of ebiazo on bottom na to menji sika. Minim sama kan etase a. And also will consider all those options in nyina, which is very good. Na krubia me hu ni wa hade information na me to him fa. Na kwame na oya tete honestly, oya tete. Now, Attorney General say 8.25 million Ghana cedis was paid into an account or was paid into an Eastwich account linked to the ex-director Osei Esibe in 2023. The card was later found in his house. Into the immediate director Osei Esibe NSS no. In one of their investigations no, and who in there in the Eastwich card, NSS phones can one jump from go accounting.
Yes, to Eastwich
yes,
card.
Yes, Eastwich card with any bank bia, and to just can cash out of honor. It was in one of the cards bia when you access to no. I has a payment of 8.25 million Ghana cedis.
NSS card Eastwich card no obiaso what ni a
identification
number.
Of unique number. Now also when your investigations no, it was linked to Osei Esibe. Na wokɔ ne fie a wokɔ akɔyɛ search hɔ no mu no
card no so
do ne fie so I answer the information yes ma and come in all your interesting revelations we hu wɔ and I pray and hope there why one thorough investigation
yes
and this wokɔ court obotum na wagina do na what that jeans ka was amayen and this should serve a deterrent to others when you opportunity to about some man na come in go in there. And sometimes I am you're there. And can you the ordinary work can oil the mazia? I wouldn't have so much of a problem because this is kaya him. But will be a wild bonus in the door director. Share the kind of benefits I wasn't owning in our nature no. Yes, still no, nice answer to system as for do. As answer to Babonu Konum. And you see, when I sometimes I feel so bad for the president in Ukrum Hadi. Come in the there. His Excellency and another Danko Kufuado. On Shanity there. He's coming to become the president to allow his appointees there. Dabi, no good intention. And so president will release come a scheme there. One you don't want to uncle focal. And so be more ma brown or bunny. So I no quara. And see president when you're no tomb. No I'll panic a cram of coming a j no cobom yambu mano. I was a question ma. I say Mukodi dream. Mokwa ye tamohono. And this is a big issue for me on Trey. This is national service we are talking about. Yes. Let's look at other areas, you know. And I told you just said one conversations now. Other areas in Pay Free Bomposi can be no so powerful there. Or say baby no. Now so on koye. It's you know You must some them here for the meantime. Now you're trying to work for court now. You start a proceedings in Kodwa. You bring a lot of information. Maybe ask me cafe what come on what the kaya then. How did it happen? Ghost names or then 1 hour day in confusion question I work with you loan. Then you know to then by false pretense, whatever the case is, we'll find out all these issues. Now you will how able to for that, you able protect your systems, because I feel the system which is too porous. Obia konya no ho question ma. Otu wonya no ho na wa ye no oruko na nyimo ho no.
Se bia na what the car kesim
yes.
Na one be pay abonta wo papa di wan bobra.
Na ma obaka cha.
Sabe ne ma me ewidi.
Na ewidi na okoye. Na interest le na ye ka gift worry na asemi. Won nuku so ka case no ho bi.
Se nuku ni ye lawyer.
Yes,
gift worry ni company not so we na.
Etia me ka cha obi anya opportunity a our friends and family. Internet there today wa gba IGP ni no kwa so dem okada yankopon na ase. What they do so dey be siwutiro. My pressure about that render. Now in your position the me you feel there or merry making because of the juiciness or she schedule no ho. I can't for that who say benya nyema bi. That is why na ahemfunya wanyu age. That is why obi call appointment committee na wa asu no come ahemfunya na ho no. All because obi anyim there corruption or your institution. Of course man no so benya na kakra no so wa tafili bi ho no. See, so that is the problem. Systems in the Yajum come hard. And system are very porous. The Mukomo yes, how do we prevent the leakages? It should start from somewhere. By as a non as a academic some way. A benibia such scandals way, yet is it to be a honor. But I very upon a second pono, one can't come back beyond to know. NSS, this is what is happening over there.
The monies involved. Ibanazi the miske. Obutum na wa ya bo man Ghana.
Hey, come obey your jumbo bree. Obey your jumbo bree. Next is I na wahwe. Wahwe one I was come out but it was one packages in was boma. It's about 2 billion.
Yes.
Now just one state institution. Otumwa your corruption for 550 million. Allegedly almost about 1/4 of his can't NSS ko. Man you NSS for no one numbers might not even be up to NSS one numbers.
Yes.
In NSS as some yakawadi. You go the other areas in so. So you know what I'm talking about. We able to make hospitals nazi. Carlo corners able to my home
school then mo
ko no to make bebre o kromade.
But the nyimpa kra na eduani bi.
Wache.
Ogo no kotokum.
Yes.
What they akasidi wa Ghana. Now enkrofo individuals by 12 bi and they will face charges e wo ho. Mustafa Yusuf, former executive director.
Yes.
Now he's now an MP.
Yes.
In Parliament. I now know a former
sports minister.
Aye. No, a sports.
On the case
all African.
Yeah, African games so.
Okay.
No so other issues are there and also what's why investigations were home.
But yanka the way we sika o. 21 say any what needs in a wabo. And ye would they free MSS and call sports ministry.
Yeah, of course, sports ministry.
No, okay, sports minister.
Yes.
All African games in what they are in new by now.
I will new ban was see a hostel that will be also. Renovations was a bet to Gumanadi. Close to $60 million.
$60 million.
16. 16. Yes. And I was a quick Juma. Legon Stadium, no way, see almost about by 60%. Abano Kwakotchedo. Close to about $32 million. And I was a quick Mohono. Nini na and some more trade transfer.
Okay.
In fact, feeding was almost every day. Biano. Me need the right figures, no. To me, put them a conjecture wadi. But feeding is actually makes someone quick. It looks as if almost every day, biano $1 million, and I was spent on feeding alone.
$1 million yes, kakakraba. And even a banana. Give to your worry. Mensa, former deputy executive director.
Yes.
Then said, let me give to you also
Ghana Football Association executive committee member.
Oh, okay.
It's in the
or says be entry. Former director general.
Yes.
Kweku Ohinijan, former deputy executive director for operations. Abraham Bismarck Gazy, former internal auditor. Kweku AJ, an account officer. Idrisu Abubakar, former head of accounts. Stephen Kobena Jemfi. Dame Kobena Jemfi for ya ewa. Ewo bana to the Kobena Jemfi afi. Former regional director for Koforidia. Prince Awuku, a district director. Jacob Yelson, management information systems administrator in the northern region.
Thank you.
In a 2 additional unnamed suspects are reportedly involved and will be added once formally identified.
Absolutely.
So the thing is a syndicate.
A syndicate.
All the regional,
so look at the offices.
Some of the regional directors and then
Damenoti.
Obiani Muhubi. And I didn't know Bogumu the various districts.
Damenoti. This is just as not or a syndicate. Into onye sika no ba onye impo krope no ozi. Obi anya ne card to hono. Obi anya ne card to hono. Enta meka cho de bi yenye comfortity. Nyame wona Yakopon aye wona adom abana aba when opportunity just within the space of some 3 years 4 years no na cancer would them if you
are I would believe there another I would urge the Attorney General the auditing of the National Service personnel one year from the various districts.
Okay.
Because I want to feed the national the total
if obi were criminal intent they're able to create those ghost names,
and it will be created from
because
the district offices.
Manasseh Azuri expose be then. Is it Manasseh Azuri?
Yes, Manasseh.
Yes, and then it was normal there. Echo UCC, for instance, I mean, call UCC. That was social side. So yeah, SSBSS 14. That mean index number no about to do honum. But then when there school be and unique index numbers are we use department and index numbers are we use. And so because of course call UCC. Not so about what them a certain department to be not so it's wrong index number. Teacher you be a charge or UCC lecture you be a honomono. Not so in that department.
Also them index number identify them.
Identify. But if you want index numbers are what you see now was real registration you cannot attribute it to any school in Ghana.
So okay, say Yarisha side then what me I shall say from the various tertiary institutions.
That may not say.
Let them identify.
No, coming at schools they able to identify. Because schools NSS copy one database from the schools.
Okay.
It's a quality system. NSS for database already. At your registration, I put in your figures. They have it on so they will still get the right number.
Yes.
But also the one way you're paying for.
No one
they know how to manipulate the system.
No way
information service personnel be.
Yes.
Or can we be? So if you are what else? Now what I'm a department to know.
Management information system administrator.
Thank you. On manage information, the system itself. In so trebi gumna so nyimdo a syndicate no kan bia on blow alarm no. Because no so what on adwin. But so much about general cat. How is it going to? It's why the criminal intent there. Ye bo wia. The mean a year. And I share the numbers no okudu na. On your numbers abaka there. Obi no at district level be and or regum. But what to know room wash a baby a cough for one ma. Then they do it that way. And that is the problem. If you encounter, that is why I'm saying that the leakages within the system, no. Those areas, no. Young for the 2 minutes, film. Into your Ghana card, no, should be the sole identification card that you use to Chroma Hade.
Do you trust the Ghana card? You trust the Ghana card
so for the meantime, this is what I can trust. Why? Because students be school be no using the Ghana card registration. It's a issue Ghana card registration now. So I NSSR. Yafa who index number. Yafa Ghana card number. Ya link it together. Into say area na say run a system no. Na say index number see be on link with Ghana cards. Then that won't confirm your ghost name. Verify them. When to verify ya, take them off the system. Me assure that I very simple. But why is it that you empower the the criminal intent? No, now you know we are, and so we are. No matter what the system is, they are going to bypass it. It's in the on your office and carry a BB. But when you're confused, we're supporting various quarters. And even if so, a flag red or corporate my director, what is going to happen? Nothing. You must have was catch out there. Oh, forget I don't know. What you have to say.
Investigations in problem. Or flag or reported to their various directors.
Thank you. But also when you more coding, they won't say anything. So we have been using concrete. So no coming. I feel that it is how we are supposed to build and develop a robust system. Able to detect some of this or crimes way. But maybe I'm trying to kind of book on 90 years. Quite honest, say ya bomb bonus is kind of sabi. Yansan kayin sika. Never time will cut them 10 years, 15 years. I believe be born in Chile. I was your presidential pardon on the health grounds. Na ye one.
I think the account should be frozen by now.
I'm sure by this time I'm sure they
won't freeze one account.
I'm sure they will start today.
Investigate won't freeze one account because
I'm sure they will be
I know that to trace it.
Yes,
but
yes.
Answer able trace
even when they use the money to buy the properties now, one for one wants them to those properties. But sometimes I want to expect that one will go a step further. Yes, so that Kwame discuss to down Makai. Kai, why just a worst man, isn't him? I trust my name, I could tell Bosumus Oji, the Makali on to Munto. Lifestyle audit. I audit in Pocona, and yes, going from Kotokano. So that I'm only expensive, abatement to commit crime. Na in Pocono so, with 2 months, no bringing Nazi or Honum. But you're quite shame, my pena, a deposit for your humpo, na ye jema waka, Kakabi Pana, answer Baka. Because Sabi, they are not twats, they are not stupid. Oje otsidano no otokase na onfanizi no fon to do odeba maneba odeba man ni nua bi ne yanko bi ogility ni business partner bi onye no gility pa no was wonsi na to do nti okodem pona sa oba yes still no sikanda wa wo ho no man nti me feel that investigation shouldn't be limited to them nkofo ne pen one a wo ben one no investigate them also nti when never be the car beam never be otifia bi mo yana nkasa ne anything other da you can audit the person. And yes, you can want him for a done evaluation or yahin. What coach Bosum should scale to how many years or to that then we to more adequate answers are you confiscate it from the person. But I will read children that recano and you'll be none to one never pass or ye week. But what's on there? Papa no way you're passing to know. Kada papa one bobra, meanwhile upon ye week. And see that I'm not money to Mukuma didn't let's show me some mobile coin and I pray there. One right, fundamental human rights biano.
Yes.
Remember one trample when due process. Young follow so far and as with the mental there complaints about there. We boom for that and you be in for me. Well, good news is answering your good news because if we have a country that is as porous as this one and your room koye, into no attorney general won't quarter than 1 year investigations no one court now finish there. Obotu abon kwedu na your judgment so you're casam na able to na chemi na ya kwena you to know. So far no, I think they are doing well. Let's wait and see how this issue would end up. Kakrebi on the Zoom Lion issues no na me fancy. Zoom Lion says me sure do bia nyem stand me so stand. Ghana for him stand o krom hade. In the Manase Azuri no truck cat come president. Or you know about the kind of corruption and other greed that we could do in the Zoom Lion contractor for some time almost about 19 years. Yeah, execute such contract since 2006. And coming up, fast forward, say I share these issues where under the criteria by Callistus Mahama doctor.
Yes.
Nessa Shasia, I acknowledge the receipt of Manas in the letter no, and what tell me there one, the expiration of contract no. I balance a contract done by last November and a contract on end. Now on Yaza. This NDC government will renew contracts now. Zoom Lion
yes.
International Zoom Lion phone 1 year in your contract be our home bill as it stands now. Secondly, what's the audit of payments and then claims? And after contract by ending, no Zoom Lion good away you must tell now. Into bonus students and payment be as our code was more year Zoom Lion phone. Into those payments in no. What's that's why auditing will do bill. And last time I catch all there is a conflicting figures about the number of workers are way more Zoom Lion. Manasa Azuri chemi there. Those numbers now Zoom Lion claim me there. Oh yeah, the adequate and other the numbers I wasn't 1 year jumano. It is not true. Into the baby now, the then CEO for YE, Mr. Ajiman, or requested there say if one to want to work as an account on timer, then Zoom Lion for one finish YE for with the list no. Now one should want to want your call no Zoom Lion fan for listen and vanco. Into once was today, be a Zoom Lion for no. What inflate numbers are when you want your jumano, some kandama hypothetically, be a Zoom Lion for one actual staff for no. Why about Nimpa 7,000? Be another catch up and day, Nimpa 70,000 and a UT one cow. So it means there is a deficit of more what was that can be. It's a bunch of probably your audits now what should those claims to know. Or in a crowd on your
staff and phone you juma nkutio I mean, overpricing of some of their.
For the meantime, you know, you're back in the me. You focus on the numbers.
I listened to Manasseh Anope, and for the information, you're from Manasseh.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, also our meeting be this time in he wouldn't be able to speak to us. But going forward, you know, in there by Monday, we'll definitely get him now. Yes, is in common. And pay is in common, so we'll meet in in common. Now, Robert Politina, what is she? That's been on okay, Okaji invoice from Zoom Lion. Was the man, is it 90 pesos per one? But on government, you know, we're quoting in dollars. Robert Politina. What is it? Bolemo.
Amana yetumne wa. Amana yetumne ya ndino man ho. Me, that's my problem. But this one we put on Zoom Lion for no problem. Government agencies, government officials are ways to contract.
Because all the baby contract no one will be renewed. But if you insisted there, it should be renewed.
Yes. Now come na ye kwen anyum no. I say conduct competitive procurement. Now na banison there at the national level no. Onyaza obey outsourcing from the assembly as we saw in the past in the bio there. From the national level no. What the contract and Zoom Line they won't manage all the waste management of every MMDAs and what's worrying them. Says ya no. Say district assembly, municipal assembly, metropolitan assembly, abandon through its competitive tendering, no, they would allow you. Now one can say to me choose a company, sir, about to na anyone to buy you. So in this regard, no, yana yewo Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly, no, assembly na kasa benya ne obligation there. Oba select waste management companies, sir, offer that we are competent enough, they will go through the PPA system no na afei so wotum was select na was mawana and they wetum na was akọ enyum na waye edwuma ma bibiara wetum na wakọ nka no ho no mitino no so ya bi so no so ya hwede obakodo ho no but I had no I have my asterisk ho no abonifo no nyefenze echi because I have this doesn't mean the Zoom Life cannot bid for such contract but I feel
but Osman me other jurisdiction
yes
if a company be the company no is involved in corruption for a period of time you cannot bid for a contract.
But coming as it stands now, no, there is no report and there is no substantial evidence or Zoom Line for no they are why corrupt so
yes.
It be as a government them will be auditing so quite in the federal so we are na so when they be and Korea we be when the American no be more no. But for the meantime, you know, they can also bid for those areas, you know. But I mean, me feel there. So when you're certain districts in part, they can even channel their efforts. No, why you better, because you cannot take the whole of the country. Now, what logistics need to move in Yejuma? What staff strength to do?
Yes.
But maybe I said when you keep course, I didn't put here. I don't maybe I was staff of by 1,200. You know, about to my Yejuma Wahade. Now, was simple. I shall wonder supervised to you know why Yejuma. We equipment about to my so Wahade. Then we see what is going to happen. But it is good there. You decentralize the contract of what sanitation, no?
Yes,
so that locally what we about the capacities
and per the information Oribano, I think the Sikebi Oribano Babwa.
Yes,
if the Sikanibium or by the local assemblies, you know, I believe CCMA will perform now when you have the full component of the fund, you know. Now we too now yes.
Now what's a super's fees, no? And Kayama minimum na yamba pana man ka wopa prenas, no. Say the miscan accuracy can also. Abanisi the music over Shana with Tumna, wa Tumna with our moye, Yama Minusi personal.
Jumla, why you do for how many years?
19 years.
19 years.
Yes, since 2006.
And Obi surround my copra. This can do 300 Ghana cedis simple a month.
Now, just
and Jumla on a giant per head.
Just one. Not Jumla is the name or the invoice you quite, and I be more approving. Coming was a quite no approve is all quite what this prove here. Me are sure that the miscan can be here. And that is a challenge that we are talking about. But in the abundance of them, Yama Minuscano, about 2 more honum. No, all 2 more honum, or good news. Now, my catch order say about 24-hour economy. We should incorporate it into this particular Ejuma week. On your no pay so na yoke you na fe no for papa.
Yes.
enke bi ahomachi another nyumbri market for wapon no one watch okoko edwuma no wakọ papa wase se nro ni nyina why wonya kama
and it will also be based on adequate security.
Absolutely. So ni nyina bi wo honom. Enti akara say if you want the functionality of 24-hour economy, it should start from somewhere. And government admitted there, we need to make sure that we have security intact. You better improve your lightning system. You better improve a lot of things, you know. About the transportation system, you want to improve no honor. And I may feel that so 24-hour economy can be incorporated into a ejuma way. Now you to ya work around time. On your fair and a pay so you could you man na fin be more quick.
Ghana minimum wage crampo.
Yeah. This is your country. It's no coming a good news now. I feel fumigation contract no.
Honestly, another issue.
Fumigation contract imposes it's okay. I want the influence one because I can't COVID by. And I was to call the contract the fumigation. That was the car be a case to honum. That was bomb from was do good baby. Now, and you might die way fumigate say what's a virus and water so we don't even see. But yeah, what this several contracts I man call for. Zoom line first on them contract in as waji.
Any other competent agency will come here once we call BD bia.
You see, I smart now upon you see, you know.
Within a way create companies,
subsidiary companies. Into more fumigation, we focus on fumigation or in ejuma. More power zoom line or in more your waste nor your way. In fact, I mean into or we need contract into abundance no sumpo no what you shame. Through the Attorney General's advice, you know. No so what your contract, my way executing here, you know. My way just came down when I 1 year, you man, the miskin or budgeting in our honor, which is also a very good news, sir. Yeah, so honor Dr. Kalistos Mahama, and the letter, what was the come out, yeah, Manasi Azuri there. These are so far the decision Abon will take, and then the directives, sir, was a Baba Yejuma, and it is very good there. Yeah, to the same way, or Kodro Honomitino. Coming out and your way, Zoom line for the it's okay. And Mempire born a message the assemblies in there. When the formal notification of 1 year Juma, they should do what is right. This is not an avenue where if you buy for milky the state, no. So where it is kind of worry Juma, we don't have any problem. So I cash, no re Juma. No me in a ball beside the water me if you want them. Consistent of course of ball and if you want them. When you made a crown 1 day, or the baby or honor when I am not expecting to be out on a couple of honum. I'll be no Juma or child to walk across honum. Yanka happening to me and says your honum come.
In fact, contracting won't boom.
Yes,
won't boom. One source to, I mean, many people do it so that because sanitation issue on your Adika Kraba.
No musun. In fact, we should even incorporate in it recycling mindset. No, your friend shame or honor. I brought you the baby. I do plastic bottles. See, or two more tenants of Fian, supermarket. No, machine be so. Or this same, all kinds of car. Now was Aman. You come out there, could be a 2 year ago. Yen Yanimia, 7 wires scavengers. Oko bola da, oko pump.
Any selection.
The way you're the winter, and that's way you're the winter.
And I also me, I'm going to buy her first. And when I'm a selection, we are selection.
Thank you. So it means that your money are lucrative.
Yes.
But you make sure my plastic from Kogun with Fima and Sana.
Segregation in Bra.
Yeah, I mean, baby. I mean, it's education here. Education start with Yamba from marketing to school, nursery for no primary JHS for no. You start from there now. We'll get somewhere. And to come in and your bridges, I think these are the 2 major issues, sir.
All right.
But young Chroma had a busy home come and then all good news. And I acted to so far in now. And as a sinner, me feel the onion news are on Shadanya, Papa Farmer.
Oh, yeah, Magana for.
Oh, say yes, the category. What questions on Kofi 117?
But the questions are. After listening to this, and reading around in Inano, Mr. Demunko Fia, while volunteer, the Sikano Buchano. After that, what is next?
Come and said the plea bargaining everywhere in the world.
Yes, it is allowed.
Say, I work at about my boy with information. I mean, some benefit might also go to the person. Because if you feel that I'm probably a full trial, Mom. You try to move first
because you cannot hear.
Hence, if we are not work with them 10 years, about one best 1 year. Now I work with them. But in this case, yes, can I because a jello beer, I'm a home for so or one. nti bia anka eje nanka agiskana man na okede me 10 years a eje scam yen bia 1 year bi obotum akwa akodem bia 1 year bi another bia ebo suspend no ntumi aba na adwuma bia bio so that obey deterrent to the person the embe na ban na adwuma na nya bi mpo na aye you cannot win government contract bio because some opportunity na bu yen fado. So these are one of the things that what be more here because when the man we go to my team there some call them 30 years in pa na menya be 300 million akwa me na menye
makwa akode ma sikare da wa
akwa se akopo na nkunu prisoner obo na skanda wa agwo retwa no honom but sometimes the one 80 second if you won sem e bia as 5 years in pa akadem na mom etumi ya banadwuma bia bio am ban public person bio. I mean some of these things you know kwa kodo honom and then the play by game, I mean, feel that it is good. Let's recover the loot, you know. All moment, the most important thing to Ghana for than there. You're prosecuting Kofaku prison. Now, yes, I'm going to escape your honor. And so, you manage the two na at the same time, you make sure that you be able to find honor. And see, boss, my influence in Libya.
All right. Alaji me da say, my callers ni be in brim na yenzi in komo 0244 408-046 0244-408-354 NSS and then the Zoom Lion issue. Bia pede Fabiano able to na afa ya kwene. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
Yes, sir.
But your poor man.
Christ adumo na wonso e.
But your nyame adu ni bi. We better to fin.
Okay.
Samuel Owusu Felix Owusu. Obo ni. What's the good one that will share? But I want to know about the money.
Okay, yeah, boy, Samuel Owusu.
Aha. If the young pay for you, I meant someone I say. So what close school was start to war, vast in what we were creating. So was start to a creating what Korea war a professor, I can open and say, was what I caught war, question or photo, will your school are, Monke National Service. No one to abandon Peggy be one. And that's my dream. My money new. Gamun coffee na yabasre. No politician be could defend one. If the Ghana politicians and the minimum one, you know, I buy into me from Cock or the John. Then only in the party from our commodity why I some no strum. Said the master me one solid door. See me mufono, you boom may be any
Yamin. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Alaji. Well,
it's ever lost, man.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, woman, I will. I'm paying for your work. It's Ghana, so yes, yes, it's a quarter one, but they are from any museum. I will go to the and many considerations to a future papa on here. One spectacle. Jessica Willia. I get you put 2 you are going to your word back. But on Saturday, Jinawala. Also, opposite to one. On my next time, if you to Amba Mobine being a funny 2 minutes or the man of that. Why should there many seconds when we are with the other papa? The Ghana sofa, your sofa. You probably brave when you do more money. API Cocobosa. Because Kakra, revenue of Yaji Good, you've been soon your opportunity in the Wuria. You've been a papa, a board member, were freedom. What an Bazabaza do a coupon or you need for 4 years, 8 years, what would I cook 8 years? A back a crab was yesterday, was one sack a cow. But they could do no, but that's an issue.
I mean, sure, was good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
Yeah, that would me too.
Yo, I'm coming. I'm dancing. I'm coming. I am Sembi or one yet. I am the man cutting map. One Montasso because Penina wafu we dumum on a day. Well, one pedo we will be baby auntie. You know what's baby mom? One more car, one more done into your light bill, into your water bill. Woman from a Ghana for a Ayala taxpayers' money no do to your uncle. Now, but the Bion Elisha. I read the Miska Biblia, can I say then? And see the monk for what it's the meantime. Yes, so Huma. And join the deaf at the film because we are with you for. Oh, there, say, Yachimuna, only day, oh, yeah, you should share evidence. That you share you are.
Anhwehwɛ evidence ebe sɛ ne ɛdza asɛm no akyi na ehu no kɔrɔ wɔ.
Wodi ya nsanka tɛ wɔ. Where did the canon?
So you need evidence. Ne etum na ɛda bɔ nkɔ edu. Aye.
Ti da mo kɔ for what da man. Ye de me asi there abani a wa be ne wa be. What did scan we won coffee ade. Madam ade no du ntwakwa na ɔyɛ how.
Meda Dawood. All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Mpocho, me pere me bi sɛ dɛ nti Ghana mpanyinfo ala a wɔdwene maa no ho. Ma sɛ dɛm ndɛm yɛ ɔyɛ maa na wa start. Ɔyɛ NPP NDC ɔyɛ political yi na dɛm zum lion dɛm asɛm contact yɛ la asisi awora wɔde ba lower level yɛ la awora kan. Wokɔ a politics na wɔde yɛ. No hala wɔde ma wɔn kɔfo. Yi problem no hɔ na wɔde start. Dɛm ndɛm no nyinaa mata wɔn ka no kwal NDC na la no wɔyɛ wɔyɛ soro abɔfo ɛna yɛ hala so Ghana fo la so nya yi so ba no ma ɔtena la ɛna kakra yɛ da na wɔ ho. Wɔkaya na politics so onyine party contract ɔwɔ ho ndɛm mpo ɔbɛyɛ mpo a wɔmfa aman. Na with that man who part because of what personal interest who been you do on why then who didn't see them with the dam with the chichilla man. Massa, my can call a many more or your NDC MPP and how he hit me phone and I brand I see we are in Bilaso Yakid no witch in a year than he'll back one and how let me move your life outfit and how you come he bears the bonum pomolka can because of the political unity and now or like a command to man a cacao wicked in nature on this car or had the monument pachilla in penal this car the lampo in all than all come back and about didn't know all about them. Master, what man I trim no yo.
Master, may say yes, 0244408046. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Jennifer. Apple ma'am.
I'm an admiral.
Christ and Adrian.
You. Morning,
Juma Dasi.
Now, maybe so. Them go fear. The carcass here, we all body on to him. We're gonna have another with the
when you are Ghana.
Oh,
you been in pay MP.
Ah, now I call your must say there. You cannot discard. We are Nipana Wahala on 2 coins. Also, then you can sort a chair, watches. Now, what discard is in the hall? Chair, you were gonna have them. Or be too much, been a combination of being a body, you drew cry. What too much jail in about 20 years. No, na she sika nwa wo bodi ni po wo nso na wo bodi wo ne wa abobbo bozelos bebre mo gwa ti ni po onye mo frame so ansana sika na la ata de ma mu ense mi wona so ya medwene ho a ya menta ase na wo gudu wona nam Ghana ha wan ku ya so asa wa kwata parliament wo sembla so wo de amanya mu iya wo ye nwa wo wie ne wa beta amanya mu menye yetia na wo tan wo mebi wa fa wo ho edi Yankopon enwa ohunye na ala mobile.
Better say Yamenka Wasu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwame Suman.
Nana Kwame under my dear family too.
Kwame Namadasi. I know Osman. And I FKK.
Osman
Osman. I Osman Wabu Mapa. Yamin Sherman. Kwame. Yes, the miskay will be waiting ya. In case the miskay are all pay for what is them ready. I know who will wait. So our Ghana put him what the mistake the men pay few are. Take the Ghana for over Chano.
Yes.
The mistake I will MPC in war. And what the parliament war. And what? No one do one city, what about you petrol? The men pay few also a grim watching. Them one city would happen on yet. Let them scale with the men pay from what Ghana. And them one city would have been. You tell me that's why they are. It's the men pay for what you want to go what you them scale ya no ye. And what? I said what you want you them scale me young Tayan. Because you are young people could be what we're gonna win your opposition, we are possible. What can this kind of when the Ghana free is capable? I'm not gonna free away here. And to the mistake, if you could be a good about the Kaba was no quarter, we get the party, then the dump in the somewhat parliament, I'm not or Santa Man. Ghana Pa, Yama be a blow. But I say,
Master, I say, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
yes, sir.
But that woman,
Yamiadumo, swear.
Richard,
all right, Richard, you too.
But Ghana, if I want to go to school, you go to be one go school. I never go to school. You go to Ghana. In the Ghana, you know, you far, but God, you never in fight. Never fight to drink. Let your face ready. Hell, yeah. Simple. Man,
all right, Maso, better say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Kojo-san.
Yeah, ma'am. I would have a don cocker send me and Kayamfa farmer balcon, driver any balcon, carpenter any balcon, and Kayaki to them call for me and from good parliament. Oh, the Ghana have a 4 West Capan. Now, pay 4 West Capan, do now a politician and now for parliament. That's all. And I yet you go and I have breakfast. They have brand as a moment of you a zoom lion, a papra. Or Pablo, you or money now, you know, no money nato. That will go for 2 and 2 of car. Yamia Wadam, who said that woman is shared baby. Oh, Fabo man. Let me the minute, what come no some or fire and vanish your man or man who couldn't him. Or cut now, be a nine and there, or anything. How them girlfriend said, yeah, but so one, and I will away a mobile pa. I'm going to with a madam. Like a devil goes name now, it's the mister. If I know win, a crown follow the win, the miscan, but AG and academia, but what about like I was there. Now go for away on your left.
All right.
Now, Ghana and I must say, while we have with that, I go for all boom over your head.
Better say, Papa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, mommy.
I'm coming to put your offer my education.
All right, mommy, put your mean too.
In fact, I said, we're going to one. If I know, wow, come on, you know what him there, but wow, I don't know one woman in him. Paying forward one after car down, I see you want to say, I can't do my name, a cafe sky, it could be ideal. Doesn't know one. I want to put him this was one quarter when I want to do a horse, or one way at the Mazana, and move and pass it. Give it to do a horse on one way at the Mazana and pass it. It's an idea to move some bloody into a portrait makes an amalgam. Not be them in the man in Sibon. Want to move in bloody into an idea who may be 1 year, but who no one. That was go back to the other Abomano Conan and out so many bidding. Whatever were to a coon, and then that the mother would to be there.
Oh, only the ombwa.
I want one cool, but we'll put other 2 hours.
When kuna different persons who by we know you who nakeke in Tobokodo. But the law should work.
And how many years? It's not a cadam, so I mean, you want one time, many years.
But I say, Baby, I'm a baby, no.
Brother,
what's this? That's one more.
9 1 na brother wala actually your ya misisha eko kotanya ma to them ye kan wa asemi de wa to na madumsi enya so yansu ye madua se be tafra ke bia na nyama na ekwa kafe na eye akafa no old price ebe de na atodo na no the tax make say wo bo na wo do mo nyanku mo wezi brother actually ya misisha the kapudu o ti de mi. Why are you playing there? So what about you? I want for Havana from Tutu in you make a farming. And catch if you are a war same and you. Better, no calling him me. It's not tomatoes will go. No couldn't tell you, you a person catching me. Everyone away book along them. And you phone for thing. What an office? What the pen? What the zero saying you, man? No, Sierra Yagi for say, yeah, when one know what. I'm on my tracks near Juma. Everyone I go alone officer be for Usika. But on a day, any go for the young one the hawk, the young woman, I don't pay a check. Because I may have so smart, you won't let Bushme sing, and may Traman you may Bushme sing. It's the check at the Sika. Why believe you can insurance, your check tax or no? Better you, Missy, you know, you're there when Mara Assam. So I your fire squad and someone wants us to walk from that.
All right, may I say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, I'm coming on.
Yes, sir.
May
I do more papa on Pocho one way?
I got my mentor the same. I got you. Pocho, Now, Bishop.
All right, Bishop.
Yeah. Brother, I have to say, I was a crime. Crime committed with him and crime committed with gang. They are all crimes. At the end of the day, maybe I will react. But what the court to say here, the same two people were being before him. You swear with the Bible. About prayer, so now, you do that in some of the guilty and not guilty, and you're guilty. At the end of the day, no. What do you mean about it? And then go to the baby and you want to day to 1 point sweat so that people will learn lessons from certain things. Because at the end of the day, them go to your number court in fact. Obi may be a different one. Into yes, and then Obi the coming year, Obi do it's really year. The need to clear what they are. There is I'm a dead calculator and 1 point to the end. I was to come out of the bois in for Wabba, and then to you, and then I remember the hour of now to come. You talk again, or go to cook. No, the same people now will be then I make it to be watch and remember, and they can watch and remember. Because at the end of the day, where lies the truth, where lies the lie? You read the Bible, the boss way, maybe that will come there. You say, have no more. I'm sure there. The old baby, the other son, you know, none care up and half one. None can what they to them all the time. I did not go for why I didn't go on that. But when you go booking, not what to do, oh yeah, at the end of the day,
do you think that would be the best solution?
So we didn't enter, and then maybe also the Mokota. And Kanoya, Yana was in the beginning, maybe some new more than more. The teacher and I, they came on and some moment, it gave you some not also. So people to talk with them, we
all right.
Oh, the baby, or the Yama, no call no baby, not just
okay. Master Bishop, Madasi Bebre. Okay. Ebusha, for now, mean to me for Biabio. For all messages in the bra 0244-743-143. Messenebuya Humana to Mamma Bill in Timpocho. In 1 hour, Fred Wenya Butarimam 0244-743-143. 0244-743-143. Text message, another WhatsApp message for Fadobra. Join you on Facebook, then also on YouTube, Kastle 90.3 FM. Na won't see in Como. Memman Hodo, and the Abri Yatinada is in Como. Ewodo. Commander Nuruddin. Kobna Isa Wabakansa na actually I Yabaka and some Commander.
Yes, sir.
Rapping Pocha Pome.
Oh, you mean today, Adachi.
Yeah, damn, yes. And then some who clear.
Yeah. Although I clear. All the time, yeah, no,
okay, all right.
It is well.
Oh. God is in control.
Yeah.
Man cannot complain.
Yeah. He is still in control.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Yes. He has designed the system in such a way that now I'm simple on stop. And everything is working.
Yeah.
Yankupa no system no be who are all for services. But I am for service in doctors and nurses now. They are only
managing issues around
a point of contact. They are not the one doing it.
Yes,
it is done by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah. But I say, every no koyenti Rome Street exactly 30 minutes past 3. And the commander is in Como. And the ghost name saga, Deputy Attorney General Sram Sai was able to go that in Kofubia were on board to do negotiations and the substantive Attorney General Abaya press conference was cite in Crawford about 12 persons or people involved in alleged corrupt activities. Well, I'm
Concra, what you may see, you have no BBR. I do not for one decision, I say, one Jimmy. Father Malcolm get so many chair and this party paying for na Kakamang in her. Messanichia MPP for Sina. Titru, I wanna offer can be so now what to Abanamai was under William then the Morocco don't know yet. The monk of Nia so much on the Sonko. Mr. Hoboss there, John Dramani Muhammad on here in DC on disappointment. If you conduct a survey, you see there deep within the ranks of MPP. some of them were just looking for an opportunity that abundance. Yes, because it be
it's a been one conversation. It's clear
because as someone know who does here all could you on yet, but I can't obey in Pabano party. It also happened in NDC because over the time you'll be so maybe hard or can in NDC. Ebuna no so can also what will be done to him. Inti mitia da monko no sonko. I just want to say there, President Mahama or Yimpa. But also do pede o magana funya rehemu fofor wo hen politics aye no. The madzina no dan hina yedu tunyatim na ye bompa man. Oda Ghana nyi bi oto aban. Onya rehemu bi. Because ma wo pone dia ya discuss the man say maybe there oh consider that ben bi baba wo betu bibi do. So Mr. Akohia ono catch am
that based on the trend and yes.
There's no way ben bi baba betu nzamado. But those same people, they cannot repeat those submissions now. One to mun kabiem. Usande President Mahama amahon awe shemana wonya to abamanan wa ama wa anye jizi so there. Ampada so na bibi baba ma bibi tu wa dan wa to bibi do. Nkwafa ho de na ye da one peda what hold. All the time be out there to na say. Because obia na kono ofa do to na aba nti tintin babam but mo papa say tintin man nunuanye no mfo ahye nti say was one to do one yeda na ina ayewom nti and last week me you because I say you dollars a hemu bi yewa what to do ma yewa che na jayan kasa
now some time ago assembly this in Painfuna be working and what is happening there is a manipulation of this dollar CD issue somewhere.
Yeah, you see in every development so when it comes to the physicals they know what to do in order to do something for the country. It is a area here komodi a today be no obije baby no say oh azinarampo oye bawomia no started mbojata say in another breath oh mawoye yampo oye US Trump nza manzamanti nze bawomia no started Trump nza manzamana na there. So this is how it is.
Yeah,
the governor no yen the minister so once I mean there on that what this when the chin te cha there ope there sidi na ho no okoso you had to be head when you see there ya enwa abokwa ibudu baby na abre
some of us ye manka because over some past few weeks in fact I've been monitoring.
Yeah,
though on par 10 mark in home before original 10 but e wonder what I call 10.27 them
on that why am I doing there. I listen to the governor. As I had to be there, this will not that I did because there are other contributing factors. And if you are able to manage the factors now, you are good to go. And say a man could be also phone installations, you know, auto absent. That was system. No. Also, as I say, I am more bright 8 cities, but a good evening. I am humble. I am chairman. What's one that up here? John 8.
Also go against
exportation.
Yeah.
It's man to small when Attorney General answer me one.
Now we are talking about 548 million. Billion.
548 million
Ghana cedis.
Yes. Say a converter sika that don't know my uncle phone no do. When it comes to the calculations. Okay, inti Martini, I'm the method Osman Woods won't come on. Inti answer as the hadron kakra the bottle. And the truth of the matter is that in 2009, now one of the aspects of the Father for All, Anna Rollins Sempian, on there, the late Professor Moss was interested in Sika Wikizan Kofumanoko. Son, you be jail one. In him there, the more Nkwafuko prison. Omana Sanbakawa.
Of course.
because we have to feed them.
Yes.
I was reading an article. No, I said that if you want to know the state of a country's economy, that's a country in economy or a good another now, go to their prisons. I read that thing in a flash, but
so in the conclusion, the money that you spend there, no.
Yes, how prisoners now will go and I can't for that if you do one. So I wonder what the prison put if you do well. Or check that one a wolf, you know what that's but I say they were saying that if you want to know how the economy of a country is being managed well, check their prisons. The moment I go home prison when they zoom, some of them for reasons best known to Yankopa knows here bain. Obi-Oha and only the court but say a down this year could be by 24 years in prison. Now you're there. As some of into work them 24 years of their life.
Yes.
I think 24 or more.
Yeah, 24 years.
Why say no car? We will wage on there on your money. You cannot just look at them and condemn them. But the monk of who needs them or bet share or man not to be a woman. Until the sis ya woman. I wonder why they open with this kind of bad. And your friend be consent judgment and also the default judgment. So if you go through that default judgment or consent judgment, it is a court that will pronounce on you. Until you cannot say that one for court. And so we charge you. In a coffee, until that tag of a convict is still on you. Because one convict won't do more than one year.
Yes.
Until Mobia or how will be there. Wabaji Henry Amahin. Nemo maybe I'm Bakuno Beja no more. But there are other conditions attached. Attorney General say this amount of over 500 million Ghana cedis. And you are not calculating one fan calculate. You have to add, I think, 6 zeros or something to get the old cities. Like I don't go for another. Also, the Mexican say, "Can you get here? Accra, Kumasi, dualization. One complete obutu wa ye numu. It is 2/3 of it. Now say, can you get Accra to Takrada? Only because Kumasi is not worse than here. And when the non-confu bisu wakade. Ncha wankafa sabi ekwafu na sabi fratamu fomra na ncha ho muzi omananyim assurance amutu meza ma ho ne de constitution na yedi yedwuma sisi an we have the buy-in of the monkrofo na sabi tafreche choba fo awona wa ekwafu abazo awon na ho na adwene ka ho na ye woda mu constitution. That is why I bear what draft the constitution. Yeni anumi ya oye MPP free. Wanan krofo na oye bar association for na ina yim the bar association da no hedma we ya in there wo MPP. These people were boycotted. Nti already awona we go ogum. Awona sabi we kwafo. Awona sabi tafeche we afardom for another farifon. The monk of nyinaran when buying in we constitution. Baby, where do CCI appointment? Just about 2 weeks ago, now me in Penfubiz come over Sudo. And this issue of appointing somebody to serve on a board. But there's one gentleman, a very promising businessman. It's I know has my year there. So I mean, my president of Ghana ha. Into honor the map, I bent no Jinama in a castle. Into the mama waka serve or be a Ministry of Trade and Industry, if they have a board, be a Mawaka Sebo. Then he said there, Onu Ninimzi do damage in Abiwan. Number say, for what you have done, Wabra boom. May you go for you, Marian, or Cheda Ewajina. You put as a board minister, Muwetumpan. Inti, Sawu de Meya Kawa, Igwezima, Nche, Uncle School, and do university. But CCM may be here.
Your experience,
yes.
The expertise.
Yes. But the point is that corruption na need definition. What kwama was there? The giver and the taker. Awunya wire corporate, and that's there. They are at fault. Yebodu baby, na the mean pana, yes, no quack na one. And here, and then could be babumbi. You see, sometimes when we hear this, mama and for had you know, I want not deliberately. We create means because if you give your worry in this year, on your cobra do one or the same thing. Because you can't to account in my automobile and our started distribution. If you to me $10 million or no, 52 million were the more Cocoa Road. Sikana Bay Nana or started distribution into some banks and institutions. In the Bondo, you the same approach. And this approach is the young daughter there. Wabo Hotimu Pod there.
Deliberate attempt to rob the nation.
That or money can wear than what will be. Attorney General Nasa me there. Impa and Coco de bien. This is here where you hold it in common. The monk of de bien in Ubiare who Sika Okoto Bina account him. Baby, I was a fire no oracle. Wana no nya wana ena wana na okwai oni nyina yankopon na adom we yin nyinara baby a we do sisi anye there what the monk of he was ho boko court na was ho court a say you ko biti kana afra ho no so wo be de no Ghana fo won mpa egba anye there was said there one pede wo bo ho MPs there wo de da hwe me biem say hene MPs de masem yidru na waka da ahweam mo ho coat no ho jacket yan mu ya ahwea wo we wa papa won sa won bo na wo ho na wo zuru nu munsu was one pede wo bo ho MPs a honorable members a what tant na ahweam biem Ghana for se there wo pede wo hu de hene MPC the might bring to be a sorry wo parliament dem adanu wo sorry ya wakasama necessity no be a sorry nche MPP yo we gina parliament na waka da aba ya 560 or dozen the monk of the aban one chunungum nature man for who there. I in our man canco no numpuntu na then but they are silent. It's when I could saw when you're there. Sir, yes, Attorney General Nikasema. I said there are people the monk of Fonoso once I was by in there. They will be used as prosecution witness. In this monk of Fonoso, so we use one as prosecution witness. Not that I also want for me then. What ya? Because one of my woman, Ebia, will be not a kind of wakan. In terms of butcher one of them. Not that. Even though one was song, but the Attorney General Department, you know, they are entering an agreement with them. When it's not being in Abaya today, informant. The police service have a system in that sense. I will use what they pick one intel. Say a informant. I wouldn't have bring information, but moving free, a common information on your force. It is as information on the way used now was there when investigations. The AG's department. What we used to, I want one for Nabia when you dream no. What we used to
testify?
Yes. No, they are going to be used as prosecution witness.
Okay.
Now, also no, as someone because in the case of Opuni, the more Dr. Opuni now on the fertilizer issue. I want to say, okay, I am working as prosecution witness. Oh, but now someone can also there, it don't want to be what tested about BBI correct. So that is also another area. But I know that the AG's office, you know, when you what they are doing.
Yes.
There's another angle of finding out that Kwame A plus. Also, or in two legs. One is you'll be used as a prosecution witness. If you agree, and Yantuma, they will add you to it, then you go through the full trial. There are a lot of people in this country. As a copen of worship, John Dramani Muhammad in this Abano. The Unkofa naked thievery and robbery. The Monk Crawford. A corner of Buffalo or Managana. It's a agent also there. Tama, Ora, and the docket and another one report in a man. Straight away, the various agencies and kind of my friend BNI and there was often NIB. Now you some na wa bank a often NIB. It changed Bureau of National Investigation. No say they require NIB. Abai MPP aba no money what you have a bank and that bank can often NIB.
Does it change the core mandate of the institution?
You don't need to read the core mandate to know that NIB, a Korea bank, NIB, a Korea investigative
body.
When ECHO was Bureau of National Investigation, about you know what was a
National Investigation. Maybe I insist that we move.
About what's the son of NIB instead of BNI. Young fan Twinchan. It also as a man. You cause one is in to why you want to maybe. This is what we have. The AG's department also are promising minister and the deputy. What's something there? One the case the case no when you enough facts.
Evidence, yes.
I will to was they prosecute. There was an issue of an attempt to frustrate them. What am I gonna for assurance?
By who?
Yeah, some the in this case, if it is a criminal trial, it is the Republic versus. So the defendant, among free there, what's what to there? They want to frustrate the system. So it will end up there be 5 years, 6 years, case in one way. So what they are saying is that okay, also they are ready. Until whatever frustration tactics, Sikaba about to account on your water, a use is cut. Ada Ghana banks and this is done for the Christmas. And now Bank of Ghana, no so no better than I couldn't tell woman. Other some has no age, no send the secret account. And some of you now start to easy. So that is what they also want to ask.
Okay.
It's man said, I'm about to account. You think there only be someone?
Oh, me 17 million. If I am not part of the syndicate, I need to question.
17 million, 20 million about to account.
120
million.
That means make
200 million. On your 20,000. 200 million. About to account.
About 20 billion old currency.
There. He may be off by. Hey, what do quarter? No better. Young can say. Everybody now was start to court proceedings now. You bomb the journalists in the I want it to be now.
But Commander,
yeah.
On you one, you share the last 6 years, and then the amount of money you lose to allege this corruption and then thievery. About 548. You're running now because I ran up.
Because of two now, what will you use one?
Yeah.
Until they be so Obi quote to 5-6 star. Grant that person.
Yes.
Because the other two,
one is in one from Macau. Now, 2018-2019 was 25 million and over. 2019-2020, 21 million. 2020-2021, 55. 2021-2022, 61. 2022-2023, 350 million.
It's unfortunate, and I check the Auditor General's report and look at the corruption perception.
Yes,
the figure in 2016-2017 or 2015-2016. Yes, 2015-2016. The figure not for compare after 8 years, and that is where Nkofu Bebre were gonna have no one kasa. But they know that they were going to vote against MPP. Because corruption was pervasive. Was all over, everything.
Commander, is it that, yes, corruption has been with us, but the trend for some time, I don't know, always call, I didn't need too high. Za osi wabesinu kono, yenya a punitive punishment. Obesken that this business you venture into it. This is the action of the state. Inti obia free the I mean party you go behind party then Ghanaians will be suffering.
Yeah, so the point is that the MPP were interested in the party called MPP, not the country called Ghana. MPP. They were interested in party now of an MPP. They were not interested in the country now of an Ghana. Because the reason is that, say, if Galamsey issues, Nasa Otumifi minister no there party yesika inti was a concession Samaman Krofa. It tells you the mindset of those group of people. Shade, a minister, a president to be appointed. No, I said there. I mean, my appointment was me. Me want the politics and see Yisika. I guess I wouldn't say. So only $1 million into an account, ma. I shall now who buy and no on Casson. On Kakobi. His time will be in the miska. We the mean penezi. President Muhammad Sakat. Nagana fo wakade Munkasam Joe. In this mining thing, so one more concession. It covers a specific area. If you go an inch outside area now was one, whatever you are doing there or illegal mining. But I'm can
yes. Because what do more for a specific area that you need to mine?
Anytime you be there, or busy machines in sudo or mining or illegal mining.
Yes.
On another woman concession, another woman concession or illegal mining. Sagana for a Kadamasami, Ninya president in allow. Because that company is not a state company. It is a company for an individual. Now, President Tinubu, pardon, that company is not doing illegal mining. What is the president doing? It's one picture, and some maybe an American one. Ah, by the way, who said chair? James that was suspended.
Yes.
Who said chair?
And you pocket to cry you now, Bessie.
Who said chair?
But chair no do be care.
Chair now, you cannot get a who's. You see, so when you look at the governance system, the Akufo-Addo administration, 8 years, they brought Ghana and the governance system low to the abyss. You emboldened the perpetrators. As someone of them, the one finding them in here. Not a suman can be no. Is it Osman?
Osman.
You were saying something about lifestyle audit.
Yes.
I said it somewhere. No, I said, oh, we have to tell you, but here's system most modern. Ghana, the moon use vision idea came. That system now often a giftness. It existed long before Bawumia MPP came into office. It existed. The system is said that as much as one point in a hay, I feel my jana sikebi to work count. Now, if they look at the trend, not the music can on to work count. Maybe for the past 5-6 years, 10 years, in the music can be ordered the work count. Now, if you imagine what about Toma, the national security is interested in that.
So why is it that these monies were going through various bank accounts and until we are consider investigations and then audit will be coming up?
Recipient and some of them are used just as conduit.
Yes.
That is why they are going to be used as prosecution witness. Auntie, yeah, Kobina Edubuahin, the secretary, no said there. She only received instructions from the boss and then transfer this money.
Yes.
But per the law, in public service, the principal spending officer is the head of that institution. If me a secretary na instruct me there, man send the BB ma brakus. As it be a kada man send the man. I cannot tell you that boss he's the man yo. There should be a proof transmission. You know, in the public service, they are interested in the memo. So you raise the memo. Somebody will request that you hear Sika to buy some mics or console. Although Obiso approve there, the music and order will cut off. Before Mpakona Obaya approval in the public service, it will go through internal audit system. The systems that are put in place within the institution or one internal audit system. Then they give the go ahead. I also was one note to do. So the moment you being the secretary, what was the catch out there? Send this. It means that because it is not your responsibility to check from the various agencies another desk or there as an fire or something. Into them in fact she'll be used as a prosecution witness because why a conduit belt. I don't know what this is getting Sabi sikano kuku account we are way ma hon ma what here sapati adwuma na was be yo sabati na was be yo the monkofu ni na wo ho the national security no russia the mazen they are also appointed by the same administration. Yes. Nas administration na ye wona ye mu bi say azin po yesterday still on say azin obi wi esika no baba baka eso mbocho man kene ya facha mai.
So the whole governance system and then the agencies also the woja one when you ejuma wachichi one nse go n'echi ni nyina ko na ebe boduru ha.
Na bad wait Ezuman I will if you were somebody guess the three now why you were talking and waba
by it to the go ho on
to the one can say in there wo ho no on che bi o to mo na hawfo one kind of man say me and hawfo at the same time she was being promoted.
Yes.
How can you be in public office? You are messing up, but you are being promoted. If it is not about destroying the structures of our governance system, the person who is doing this is rather being promoted. What is special about her? When you do that, you encourage others. This thing happened somewhere 1998, 99. Here, Cape Coast. Minister B, and one of the dailies. What's your report to be found over there? You may be Orion. We see a dana, necessary. Ghana, no investigations. The minister was fired after the change of government in 2000. Then president, the late president, Jerry John Rawlings. Obaye you may be war 50 man toma. Nti wugaha. The minister na win is in Okonipie. If you're not coming, or at the very house, somebody who was schooled in Germany. Now at that time, or one of the finest in the world in Ghana. The Madonna was in a when I was it, Papa no quite. Inti Kasa mana. Alba na some there. Now we didn't one for now call. If you could now, wasting Kakana number, Mother Sakan. Yes. And also, if you will be an if you nanny. I said, is that this house? I said, yes. Why history, Emma? And paying 5 beer, when you the master. In fact, the story was published by Chronicle. McKenya. This is how the system was. All the time, be an uncle for once I made there. Rollins is slow share now appointees in one. Because you were coming to serve the people. And Kwafuna, what to happen? Mintin no paying some of that there, Obi Akoto Aba, was a banner 2 years to Busumi, which and a cow. But I will not want to Abama one. You will be paid at the end of the month. And it comes with other logistics and some incentives. So at the end of the day, why do I make it impact on us to Aba? Because I will not want point to was over here one. One must your governance system, your leadership style affect Obi. In time when the mystical watching now with a cuckoo. Our woo was in Yabako. To whom be Jama one number? Obi no one bazan subject of Fletcher. We Janome are sansaful. But that why effort the millions of Yesikan. I was having a discussion with a friend just last week, and I told him something. What's it there? In Camden. Now, I put you in a din in a year. What's my yabba boy and I will for when it could do. But that I say. The na Elkan Sikenya or you queen. Another foreign. These were predominantly the main businesses and uncle far. I want to wear and wusika. This is a fact. You know, Zano ha. The woman it's now. Woman in Ireland. When I was for, they were into such trade. The mountain is a concern of fun you know, Crasana. You see, who there? It's a cafe now was a Adanaka. They were into farming and other things. This was the business. Today, if you want to rely on the same trade, I better stand saying. So instead of encouraging Wobado or dog into farming and now fishing, I better don't go school. No yesika, Obuka Koto Yama. Not a man quaffo. No quaffo that you mama. The mansuna, a crying so, Obuko school. No yesika, a quarter assassin. No, I found quaffo no then. So as the trend is changing, what you don't you see then? Yes, it's here. But I don't want to know what's the son. Yaku hill school. Sika was some because I work at school. I'll be a children. Work it here on yet to do be our phone. So instantly, I hear be an indifference woman. A difference woman now, man can say no. I sound so much, I ain't I had and so I sound for coming years I come on. Abayai.
Kabada Badasi, Mushama, my main kind of message, Kakana, and some have been poor banner, a chimpo oyatity. 0244743143 0244743143. Yani text message, another WhatsApp message for bra na inzi inkomo. Who is matching Mr. Nuruddin? Aisha Khalifa, the taxi driver. How Obi Baba match you? All right, so Uncle Tuna and Council over, but then I'm the Bribinti. I'm a Makansa. You good using Komoba Kansa. I'll be a part of the conversation. Kwamina, President Mahama is the last hope for Ghanaians. Still, the government should not leave those who have stolen and spent money without doing sensible projects. I always learn on every Friday because of my boss Nuruddin Kobna Isa from Eko Ishan inside Simeon. Good afternoon. In fact, if I heard some of the news, I asked myself that is corruption being taught in our schools? Because the way some people do it, it looks as if they are having first-class degree in corruption. It is high time our institutions perform their duties well. People of Ghana, rise above. Where are you, people of Ghana, from Adai, Ewim Farm Milk, Adai, Medase. Come now, I'm giving you up to 30th of this month. Petrol prices is going to rise. We are not doing petrol and any year. I mean, go according to the topics that we are discussing. Good evening to you, Pakamana. We thank God nurses have resumed to work. Richard Akotachi. Yes, the nurses were suspend their strike now we are returned to work. All right. Petro, I think because of Israel and AE on war, there's surge in oil prices. My brother, don't worry, we'll get there. We will get there. Aye. But make sure what's happening today. It be about okay. I say, in fact, this past government really messed up the country. God save us. Osman, what are you saying? Are the nurses not taking pay? Could you? All right. Nurses what you pay per, but I mean other professionals and so what you pay. But once you work per or your condition of service. And Commander,
all professionals can boast, but the teacher taught them all. All professionals can boast.
Yes,
but the teacher taught them all.
And teacher is being paid, but also precondition of service.
That's what I'm saying. That all professionals can boast.
Yes,
but the teacher taught them all.
Yes, and see, my brother, they are being paid, but Wareji, teacher could you tell bottom? Say Ghanaians, if you pick babies with sharp teeth as ministers of state, the country will continue to retrogress. How many Ghanaians are able to purchase the bundle? He is talking about 400 Ghana cedis. Ha ha ha. All right. Sam George. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Richie K from Abra. Mr. Oz, it is not easy for children to be abandoned by their parents. Some parents don't care if you spoil as a child or not. In fact, some parents are irresponsible, but when the child finds ways and means to get worth, they will start boasting about it without knowing how they got that money. Like me, for instance, if it wasn't by the grace of God, I would have been a spoiled child because my parents were divorced. My father died earlier, and my mother too was responsible to ensure I would be a good child. Parenting is not mere responsibility, but I think our mothers and fathers should rise up their efforts because they will certainly reap what they sow. Hey, how years in Kome, how Liverpool transfer the one person who survived the okay, I think a anapa issues. All right, so Yanko in name. Ato is false. No, I greet you, Commander Chairman Boache Jan. Okay, come now, please. Good afternoon. We thank Almighty God, nurses and midwives are going back. But do you know that some of the NBC members, communicators, and ministers cursed midwives and nurses, and now they are going back? Who is going to pay for the curse from KKA? What do me be? That what do me be? And do me so be to be called one do me one. I am disappointed in this government for saying that NPP are behind the strike the nurses want. We thank God the nurses and midwifery for coming back. Greetings to my sister Rita Saluani Oba Pasera Afo Nana Mbra from Mr. Speaker Aboyum. Mr. Speaker Medase. All right. Yabuku in issues no do super. Yabuku in name. But Commander, the last question I may be, sir. After arresting these people, charging them, should jailing them be the ultimate prize?
Should
jailing them be the ultimate prize?
Should recovery of the looted funds be the ultimate? And I'm for that one. International cinema catch out there. Nja wo ko jail ba. We just person oya won ze bia na.
Ebinum krampo oje obi ni din na what to do.
And let retrieve those things.
Okay.
Let's recover all of them. The tag of you are jailed or an ex-convict said them 1 month,
yes,
1 week in pa or died then akwaba.
Yes.
Yes. But say a kade will could delay. Na wayanzamano mwang. So we end up into fast track because them cases in Azo in a child. Yeah, that was there. The wheel of justice grinds slowly. But some of these things are I'm there in Shada. Because you know what? What's the system when they said that anytime they are secure to account to me. This is can you know was that? 1, you don't touch it. 2nd, you report. But lawyers also can say what's BB often say ignorance is not an excuse to the law. And the law is the law. Oh yeah, some more.
It's true, the law is the law.
Say ignorance is not an excuse. Not the law is the law. Next you can also order one count to ma.
The law must work.
No, the law is the law. And one I ask somebody will be so. Now I mean if you are. You just can we are. I mean when I'm interested. I'm not interested in the jail. I'm interested in the recovery. And since 2009 I'm for that one. Into Yankee Mobisi. More on Kaya there, no, because on your no. If this fact, and the was I'm hinting, instead the means I had to tell the dado. That do you know that one of these civil society organizations, they worked on this national service thing long time. But that I say, in the Abani. What to abandon Hinduism? I'm getting Hinduism for maybe I am not doing there. Or Hinduism vote to continue the bio. I'll be a what the margin with women. Or there, I have been a Polish wagon on that issue. The people who brought NDC into power, they outnumber the core supporters of NDC. When their expectation, the expectation of those people, a appointee, think about it. One of them, I wanna we read his can. Some of us are not interested in the vengeance and the vindictive. Was moko tumu into do bisu kotumu. We am kubi no ka say that ahwempa wa ban mumpo wa ma kotumu. That's only opposition in government. Only in our home. But the expectation of the people.
Beyond doing the right thing.
If you are able to meet their expectation, they will keep you there. That's a very brain answer. Also, I'm fan of the president, Mamma, Tetem, Anna. If you are there doing the right thing, now, man, when you do what? Come on the prison, no, only in election. Kwame Nkrumah was in prison. So if the people want you, and President Mama cannot be anywhere, whatever, he can't. So we're not representative. Don't fail him. You, an appointee, don't fail him. That is all about it. Say fail now. But they will continue to vote for NDC. But that way you appointee. If your actions and inactions so affect Obi or two about now your wife doing so that way you don't care about what happened. Be careful because the law of karma is there.
Commander Medasi, every year I have Kastle 90.3 FM member no hodo. My own messages in the brand. We call the other issue no do that. This NSS AND Afina Waba. In your mariba, in Komobe Brewichi. Yes, in Komobe Brewichi. Now, Zoom Lion contract not being renewed, and then Sisano obey decentralize the contract, the various assemblies. I mean, and the Mobia you think Komobia say that Sikebiriba, what the Boshe, now was they award the contract in the various assemblies na the sanitation issue no we to na we to say then yeah ma me no mun so a wo pa pray woni sika no obetum ya cha dodo e wo da me nsem hu for about how many years about 9 or 10 years anamebua.
Yes.
Then investigations are called
what's that bill? Being for them, I yet a work account. The uncanny air on Fanchain. What's that bill? Okunsa, Obaba, Nanantamo. But that, yes. So the ultimate is that Ghana from here and Sesambi. And indeed, there is certain agenda Ghana for you. Is one most kana President Mahama aye. I'm a Ghana from home. I come home when you're there. In canon, not sanitation, or yeah, an integral part of the district assemblies. Sanitation is an integral part of the district assemblies. Indeed, if you go through the assembly concept from the days of Saman and Nanon, so why one of your assemblies and kind of on local councils and deal by your districts. But all of them, the interest in only most man wants someone better than Obaba. But at that time, outbreaks of cholera and non when you anyway, Obin said, "Yeah, baby, no bear until age or sacrifice it." Into the mayor bounce young coffee, yeah. And also there, oh yeah, COVID-19. So they were there. Then all of a sudden, we decided that yes, separate. Yeah, sanitation fee local government. Now, you create a new ministry. Meanwhile, the ministry does not have decentralized department in the country. How is that ministry going to function? It was a needless nomenclature. That is why $43 million although Revenue pushing $43 million in Sune Dunia de Kugapu. Ibisu was or nya in terms there was in Su tributes. So Unkobata, the Sunibi Pai Cashet, Obinum Passama, dollars in the Bishisha Wanaze. All in the name of sanitation. Imagine $43 million. I had a dumb project. So I was in Accra Wednesday. It is a shema. Say, every ordonumana in the first. I have as an ogum case. I have plastics. And about a month ago, my joining clean up SSICB or Mori. Before now, what was starting, I was just going around because I'm a pedal wire. You were park and I realized that from the outskirts of baby I one, you really 51 in our noise than Oba. If you were resources, now you put to me as I had the major man now, until own do park and do not because it will be tackled from the source. President Kufuor did that. When he created them sanitation, then somewhere along the line, President Kufuor also osan ebe na oma nedam darling the pie also says kanoka. Now President Mahama is saying that local government why? Assembly members, I want to work with communally, baby. And so why is it that the local government cannot champion the sanitation, but it should be another ministry? The President Mahama said, "I am back." You see, in fact, it's only the key thing or there will be addition. And so as a sanitation, I then was back. Then at the local or the district assemblies, there's another serious issue. For the past 8 years, or affected the various district assemblies.
The common fund.
Yes. And I mean, the kind of with them had the MPP or contest election or MC or Bori or Yana Fort, but I Kufado no Yan Kadofan away. You sit down with a formula to distribute the district assembly common fund. Then you decide there in distributing it between 50 to 60%, or Maman can 40 to 50. What but this person wa Accra? Into a chede sikana urbana so 100. What you may be in? That district assemblies do not have control over 50% in a wakan. What's in Kakaban? Kakaban urbano so chicheren. So the various MMDAs we need that power. No, we initiate programs and activities to move on at the district level. So on the MPP, governance was up at the top. There's nothing like the decentralization.
The local governance system wasn't effective.
What we doing? And chief executives, they should be bold to tell the party that these are some of the things I'll call someone. President Mahama said on the Damas no yebi. Inti Afi, they are looking at between 80 to 85% of the Assembly Common Fund. Or by various assembly. In fact, according to the finance minister, this year, every assembly at least obenya 25 million Ghana cedis. Now Zoom Lion will contract our baby. And the point is that ma obian kade Zoom Lion fu management on ye. The concept of Zoom Lion, a private institution, are correct. Their implementation or how the mahawun Ochagana for Yemen.
The concept is correct.
Perfect concept.
Because it's the communications and me say Ebo Bachman somewhere 2006 no so or presiding member.
He's a brother. He's a
presiding member.
Yeah.
Now also the concept Zoom Lion the banner it was good. That was why the various assemblies, will buy into the idea. But now, no, but then is you could do day.
You see, the various assemblies want to appear, and I wasn't enter. But at a market, I say, yes, he's a fine gentleman. At a point, to know the way and chief executive, okay, because MPP fine yet. Yeah, so he's a brother. I know him.
A nice.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
As a PM, Cape Coast, fantastic. You see, the point is that on your assemblies, we decided that we'll go another one go. Something that was forced on their throat, or by force, compulsory by force. But I'm saying that concept, if the thing is on paper, it looks good. But the moment it is taken off the paper,
the implementation,
that is where we have the problems. In Zoom Lion, look, what's about various district assemblies here? I'm telling you, if care is not taken, most of the district assemblies, they will go back to Zoom Lion.
Yes. I remember somewhere 2012, 2013. Yeah, this sanitation issue made the church, and I've been doing interviews. I remember one Mr. Gokamea.
Okay.
Gokamea. Yeah, well, STMA.
Yeah, Goka.
Yeah, quite a name you come. And no waste management. And that time in the new, there were a lot of companies. I remember Mekay ABC, as a Belmont or certain company. Then before Zoom Lion, so you could see the sanitation issue, on Gina one company pedal.
Look, let me tell you some secret. In 2009, when we were managing the first quarter communication of Professor Mills, there was a proposal to see what can be done in terms of bringing competitiveness.
Yes.
Not that Zoom Lion in a very
competitor.
Obutu compete in the system. Nzoba no much there.
The monopoly aspect will not be there.
Exactly. Say him that are course even on the same sector, i.e. electricity company of Ghana.
Yes.
So what it means is that when we are going into the market to buy, so the seller would decide when an oboto another man, maybe when an oboto a good price. But Zoom Lion, I enjoyed that monopoly for a long time. And I'm saying that the directive that will come from the minister, if care is not taken, some of the
assemblies will still go back.
But my former CEO, Senior Japan, on the suggestion in there, give the management of that model sanitation, give it back to youth employment. You see, the concept is that youth employment will recruit beneficiaries.
Yes.
No, we are was Zoom Lion. But was it who we are when you control how to be?
When you control
youth employment.
How can that? How then?
So that is how
an employer or employer will be do maybe do on ye ejuma. I'm a friend in Pano. Maybe I'm a management means I'm a human me control when you Panama for no do.
Good. See, the moment recruitment in the payment, everything. Somewhere along the line, 2012 thereabout. Now, or then reporter, Zoom Lion officers and was a one officer, or that will furnish youth employment with a copies. But other baby no, because it is not stated in the contract. Nzebunde want to find the information number. Inti the proposal from youth employment is that so I had the mentally I was say enwa and ndazi ya what the one ye mu no yen hena ho afo hona mmere ya was pray na hwi baro nkoten na bia ye benya tracker odi we no bugu maza ente no no nka e ho biara enyim o de ye ba ho hia ho de ye ze come another company. So these are the decisions. Government says there, okay, chano pa no, yinchado. Sanitation is a local government. So the local government ministry with the various municipal, metropolitan municipal assemblies, one hand of one other. How they will implement it on the CCRZ yenyim. Now here can issue be about figure youth employment to Chiama. Zoom Lion. When contract was signed in, they signed that contract with a figure about 48,000 plus. Until that is the beneficiary, the total beneficiaries are your. With that 48, that was at the beginning or the inception of the model. There is no way Zoom Lion back there. Beneficiaries in what the one way of 48,000. So the issue is not about Zoom Lion quote a different figure in the youth employment with a different figure.
Zoom Lion is quoting the figure
that was used for the contract.
So it's on the cover that is
if youth employment has control over the system, then what we can do is that we replace. But we don't have that opportunity to replace. Mamu example. Njemda yesterday Amazon Kubina Wafan and Napco second. Njemu Napco. We started with 100,000.
Oh yeah.
Amazon. You got that kind of Kofubi one of I want with his own fancy well better waffy. They see all those things as scam. Nti Napco. What was captured is 100,000. But say Nkofu will jay for Naza. They used to have 100,000. So some people were calling for audit and mim there Napco Chebia. I don't say about some because other young most ma 100,000 ibinum so no 66 now.
Now since I know ibinum pay a yes, Zoom Lion is quoting the figure on the contract.
The initial figure.
Ibinum a youth employment we need idea.
Youth employment does not have the power. There, somewhere last 2 years or so, or last year, and sign a contract in the Bowen. I'm a minion at the mark when you can answer me. Many can say since last year, youth employment does not have a contract with Zoom Lion. But that I say, Zahuna will use the word to be there. Government will not renew. Government is continue.
Contract in a way to the
dead contract. In fact, now fish man a ye busy. But that I say, ye see the dada mama na ABC and auntie President Mahama won't contract to be alum.
Contract now we would the dada.
Na yankupon so moye anye there Zoom Lion na adamu that nomenclature called Zoom Lion. Oh yeah, MPP abedo no obey. Na yankupon na dum so we wu MPP abedo. Nto anye President Mahama no obukun. But that I say. Now time the money see you know. Now this issue of why a 36, why a 30, that kind of thing our system no more. Because majority of the beneficiaries wage man. And so man, baby, I have come to saying there. Say if Zoom Lion, so the youth employment per agreement to Ochiawan, sikan quarterly. Say Zoom Lion, nansan can the musican quarterly payment na. What the interest? But what say you? What the interest? Because now something there, I have reimbursed the system by paying the beneficiaries. Into Sikana Edilane, you pay. And in last year, they took an interest of 90 million Ghana cedis.
Whereas our contractors being put on.
Yes. So with that 90 million, you can say, after the last time I'm joining them, clean up inside with Maureen. Now what's that was more than 8 months.
Every month, Tibiano.
Until you are taking interest over the delay in payment by youth employment. But who beneficiaries in when you take the money? Do you tell them that also may delay once you can in payment? I'm also paying you interest. Okay, the other leg. Contracting is there, each beneficiary, although we're trying to call 850. Zoom Lion says there, because of internal
logistics,
that alone takes 600. So the first question is somewhere there. Within a month, the man attorney impanation doesn't know using She Baron, Wellington boot. Emena was about prana non kaka winning in Aran. Every month to be a obasai. Ma tofofer. See them but mama can answer. Because we're paying this amount to our logistics every month. Meanwhile, in the contract, they were even supposed to supply them with seminar what the whole and sana zingina. Aba enough is enough, I reset aba. So now, local assemblies. In Kano Tangas of Wawaheva. How the assembly need to recruit more people? Because the same Zoom Lion for an assembly can recruit them.
But let me there. In fact, even Zoom Lion or Crampona, some of the assemblies, so on some local people I would say Sikrum.
You see, the point is that aside the Zoom Lion, assembly know pockets of staff. When they be a marketing and they will be handling those things. In there, Zoom Lion also bring another and be wafane Zoya.
Yes.
Pano. Oh yes, serious. But you see, the point is that most of the assemblies, there, Cape Coast here, because my king and I are beneficiaries and but there's another contract assembly no containers and lifting of the moon solid waste. Then site now was a win. Also, assemblies in there when you want your contract to be. What happened to all of them? Because I'm told most of them, the deductions are made at the source. It's a buna assemblies in your handicap. I am pretty sure that the approach Obama ma assemblies in Hong Kong one. Now once knows why then walk for Zoom Lion for share. When you contain a CCCI will use it. The beatitude. No so
me one so agye wuska.
When you assemblies in one shall be.
Na hwe mbesa for first no is it tricycle? What is this right? And then tricycle no point. But then what factor into a wage wuska?
All of them were part of the logistics. Each beneficiary busum go 250 no. I wonder what the beneficiary no one concrete 600. Zoom Lion Mazes test and brothers in a money no ma what abana what toy man sesa ben president mama se man kan show you be there Zoom Lion on fa ho na ye dwuma wo youth employment mu biem obama district assembly sino ahwaw na wakitua na oye 250 president mama se man kan show there wo mo wontua 250 biem ma wo botua won
now the figure number out.
Yes,
but I think that it should be appreciated.
Fashion with me there. Minjin this over more 300. Ubutia wakawe. No wama unwa haro. Waki tuyano so on come afi ano wetia. Na sumudria edan aba. Usu meyema wonsa ko wan yen. Semina won farm mpofa wonsa on farm.
Sanitation echo other nation or lucrative pa.
You see, you understand PR. Just last 3 weeks or so, there was a PR work here, Zoom Lion or here. So I read it and I was like, oh, what is it? What's it that I'm on contract to be over baby? Do we need it? Can
contract what we contract on Nigeria and
yeah, I think one of these African Cup of Nations, Zoom Lion had a contract. I want to African for young whisker. It's how one quarry the Miss Kennedy. No one jay has a concumui, one jawa hamayan, because I has a no sa. So what outside that, and one will be on one and one packaging 1 million about the other day. No one yes, you can find a one family. But I ain't deny one of her, oh, sir. Danke, but your baby, I was there busy at the one side. Why as an I am a boy? Next year, I'll consider one.
So, yeah, auditing of personnel. I was Zoom Lion. Now money's paid. You retrieve another.
You see the one thing about how I generate there. If they have a data, that suggests that
why you requested for data, Zoom Lion declined to provide the data.
So they have the raw data, but that has it. Why you should be in the position to also give what they have. Because if you are doing the recruitment, say, unless the recruitment in a way, why you take part? Maybe I work at that might be the 120 baby. But what I know on the previous ones, the recruitment was done by YE. Say, if we did that and we have a data, we can use any data. But today, electoral petition. No political party can use no result at all on Banco Court for adjudication.
Yes.
It is the one from Electoral Commission. That is why na group wapedenka wayana waje Zoom Lions. But they know what they are doing. You know that it's I like the personnel there. We're very smart people. I remember there many opportunities now. One of their interviews. Yeah, they recruit people.
So my brother Zumla NSS issue no onye pakro. I mean, why cite about 12 people? Why they are syndicate in the yes.
Why are there? Over serve as prosecution witness. Because of that,
Obia or the or site Nipakrope.
Oh, that we are interested in Bessiano.
No. There are people doing.
Is it the point is that the more ghost names now or generated the Mexican, it is linked to the Bessian.
But other so
Sikana Okugu account in the moon. New movement and it is linked to Bessian. From now account to other accountant or your Bessian. But that be a kind of
and I say
and maybe they are not like that. So you may get a Bessian.
All right, so Richie K from Abra, this NSS boss is very genius. But what our boss is explaining, then it means this woman had all the various systems being manipulated. Hey, how can about 9 systems of payment fractions to be made manipulated by this woman without their consent? In fact, I'm beginning to think that every member of the NSS office is a convict. Hey, this woman.
You may accuse me.
Yeah.
Or today, watch we. The person may have accomplice.
Yes.
Or accomplices or you know until that about them.
I want to point and so order there.
It is okay. So like Rollins in 79. I am the leader. Whatever you want, let it be on me. Leave my men. But I say. So on no. Or yes, man, so can be. Oh, black who's na a head in chair on Amuduma, a crampo.
Now, continue what you do. All right.
Until then,
but I say,
when you get my phone
this should be both retriever and jailing them to serve as an example for others, Mr. Host. Mr. Host, you are very right. Mr. Host, you are very right, people. Where okay, I don't get this message. 0244408046 0244408354 for bra na is in common. Good evening.
Hello, Kwana.
Papa. My boss.
Why is how far? I'll go down now. Anyway. Anyway.
I'm a tidy in your man. Why you do?
In there, Jamama, any kind of Ghana in last super. Even Africa, Jamama on a Tory, and one year last hope.
Okay.
It's not for no, or they make sure they have a woman. I mean, Jamama, so for 50 for me, I don't have any problem because my vote is my vote. Any day, any time, when they call me, I'll go and vote for my hammer. Don't wait about that. But I think I'm to come and new because I don't get my hammer. I mean, with you. But I need to get my hammer day. Yeah, what's out 2020 no 2024 no I say about the oba even one person for a better obeti ba na mwa
yeah na gonna
feel trouble boom you get a police station. Oh God damn me pana you look at one say if you nyani bulu iso na cha tabi personal odi 715 Ghana cedi you are right anamwa. But we have those. I mean, I don't know. The problem is digging this up.
But that's it. Okay, don't go there.
There are people. I'm out from what do you plateau? What is a better? I am a victim. I'm Makobi. Maybe it's a better 15 Ghana cedi. So, at the next person, But look at such a one, why you in post? What about Ghana? Yamahama, what is your time? And this people,
Sababa Medase, Yagas H3.
Yeah.
All right. Good evening.
So you can come in now.
Yeah, Dawood. Me too.
You can come in now, Medas. Me paying for you now. I'm coming now. Other Ghana for yet the Yanko Panase Pao. Because Sir John Dramani Mahama Wamba, the second coming here. It's a damn looting and Chagana for you home. Yen Tomoshi, and Chagana, ya Bokodo, ya Sinka, ya Kotam Munum Kukro. No, your best red John Dramani Mahama there. Damun Crofona, wait with Danny win. When Jissy can quickly, Mamma won't delay crowd. What to quarter within 2 weeks, one Gibianis Canamla. No, yes, sir. Won't jail one, ma or be a final lesson. Mama won't for be a trot back.
Madam Sidawood, good evening.
Good evening, I promise them.
Consumers are mean too.
Oh,
hey. Okay. I'm going to mean too.
So I'm going to have a mean, see how I will go for you.
Okay.
Hey, more coin there. Now, me and take him this war. If the matter reading, because I am the China, I am so again. Hey, what fun. But tell me today, do my Pina. What way this can? What contact do I get? I know I'm contact with another.
Zoom line no contract in one end.
Why and I what I'm contact for another woman contact for.
Since I want 1 man contract, what do you assembly Nangasan why you want Nazi?
Yes, the man won't enjoy it. Oh, I don't matter. I've been up, but not say. I some this now, which you know, I can a corner of why an entry from our I can talk on top. Oh, I don't matter. If you were to dinner on 1 hour up and so one is going to be the I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what Nina assembly no one aim. Aye. Okay.
I don't know what you're. And I'm not. Well, I broke with the Mamantam. I'm from you. All right.
I'm going to come with good evening.
Good evening,
yeah, Kayosan.
A very good on Pella, Macasa and Mitchell, only 2022-2023, November, December, a color, pressure rising or my a kind.
Pressure.
Pressure. 2022-2023. November, December. Kabaka, rising, Papa, or say when you tell him no way. Manga some day, Mr. Mammy, that when I'm more you. I'm going to my hair, Mr. Pressure of Farman. The color which you must come up with a me say. I'm going to them for now. Them is kind of watching and watching what the chances would be. Oh, Perquam, them conference in fact, America, Quabe and get them kidding. I am more 2 years game.
All right.
No, found quite the letters for Famla. But I'm a brother.
You, may I say, good evening. Yes, sir. I shall call if I know me and Timpocho, Sunny Breview. No, me, your cry. Good evening, Abba Ben Yodo.
Bread.
Abba.
Brother.
Yeah, me too.
Brother.
Abba Ben Yodo, ye too.
Ah, na network no ye papa na.
Mete one can yenzin komo.
Hello.
Yes. Hey, I ask more.
Hey, Kwamna.
Abba Ben Yodo, mete one can.
Checking you.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, Minister.
Yes, could you both do?
Okay, you can be good. Better smart. And then what was your manager over? I'm with the couple who know with the gun that he can a year every phone. Almost more. Let's say, no credit or sentence your man. Remember, Miss Mama, President Mama. Because there's a Mama MPP are buying Uncle Ye. So, what did the American say? I'm going to say, no crap, dear.
ɛne bɛbɔ me nsɛm ɔma ma npp aban ankɔ yie hwɛ ebi te sɛ ɛsisi a nurses yi yɛde nyame ase sɛ ɔmo nso ɔmo aba adwuma ne mmom ɛyɛ nana takɔ asante ɛna deɛ nnura ɔbaa hɔ ɛbɛkasaeɛ no in fact ɛkwan a ɔmo fa so ɛbɔ woman ne din ɛde ka nsɛm sɛ ɔmo di sika deɛ ɛbɛsɛ president ama sɛ woman no ɔnyɛ bɔne biara ne mmom yɛfɛ ne sɛ nsɛm a na ɔmo ka fa ne ho no ɛnyɛ ɛtumi ɔnyɛ n'adwene sɛ ebi ɔbɛyi woman no adi.
All right. Good evening.
I hope so. We're clear.
Sisi ado you're clear. Me too.
I know. My check. I mean, there are a couple of people who are sometimes the program don't listen. Or far I feel. I'm telling you. How can you tell us, Mr. Nudin Kasana was the cake? What do you mean by this? There I was the cake then. The discussion I mean, come to but sometimes, and maybe one might say, such a wonderful man. Look at the discussion putting across now. Also, when you was is it because of politics or what? But come now, and one of mostly or your kind, no. Some of us we know the reason why we voted for. I mean, I say, Ning say dream Nikatashe. Be wrong. 60 chair. Young name said dream Nikatashe. And that is why we voted for Muhammad to come and deal with them. What I say, and to say, Massa, the dream ne woman matter. We shouldn't expect the politician for that matter. Most of them about me, I'll be very much disappointed without any prosecution in this our country. Papa, like I will never vote again in this country.
Okay.
I
mean, go, Abba.
Brother.
Sisi ado ye, me too.
Sisi ado Odembia.
Me too.
Brother, ya kwenye nchiri kakra. Dama nkofia wabasinu wokwe ya nkasa no. Se ye ke mani nse ye pa. Oya dama nkofi. Amezi mi yizin biala mazira bobo. Mekan wana etef nala we declare wanda do. Ganan tumpuni hinala ofi dama nkofi. So what when we are? And when I said no, in your maybe on my young for you. It's a good I said I city depreciation and I'm paying for one other way and why the value is they say no when we are in a pot. Now you could force a time on cutting. Everyone here no more time and can 1992 add 8 tasting in Allah no way we are in. It's the book of Yanka Senior as a Ghanaian in Allah what's that? Amala, then you do Americasia. Into the book of Pukawiya, Yaman, everyone and you are because I people for where you want a Yakupon about Quesiquato. What was wrong back? No, what the poison was down my enemy, Egma.
I mean, go. I say, that be good evening.
Fine, Grandma.
Yes, sir.
All
right, Mr. Peja, won't you know what's your mum, uncle?
I mean, very fine.
Oh,
what Casa or them Macassa move they were assisting them. Uncle May, Ghana young Cocoy in NDC. So back at 2010, countries here 24, what the Dama bed company, what they bring. Baby was Wendy. Anka ataka no anje na mama ya vice okoka time what the bed company what the bagana ha 2010 2014 so work fast payment what the bed say you tin now
Eric, can you say in this case so where are you driving to?
Me say more what can into make come on I say man why you me be this can one can Obi ni dene de waka mansu ten na we don't watch and the same thing we also bomb to no by train.
All right.
Ye di enyu ase mo bomb pe obi answer for 4 years. Me yan hwe amambu no.
Okay, let us see.
Se petrol no was what for. Se petrol I go 10 pesos 20 pesos. Se petrol just to be 88 pesos.
Let us see. Good evening. Yes, sir.
No, what promise?
Christ and Admon I won't swear.
From my
Papa, me too.
Many man. I would you also say Nipa, but even say for Cassens or Cassimbia, or Hawaii, but couldn't you need but the amber you would do. just small car. Also, Pierre Bogos, and when people on saying so, on your one. When this man, you be a politics, you be customer for calling or TT, Mancasa. Yes. Okasa, Bisia, you couldn't be natural customer car.
Address the issue, I'm not attacking on please.
Oh, I'm attacking on some
Pacho, I attack me away from address the issue of which, please.
In my small MPP, you never Ghana, why else, you papa, Manje, the dear to Macassa. In this party, what the majority to now. Also, a part of a payna. When you are some man, so maybe some canoe. Uncoffee one. Share what years the Boniface. Can I see a doctor? Next local psyche. Show off how we were gonna have. In Pine will. I have a pocket in there. No, of course, no part for Pasa Califa. When I will find them, they will just my party. Janewa. The person do a Pamuto. The plate can be Piala Uzi. Mamma, I'm been up for me. But 2028, about coffee.
All right. Last caller, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you, Jennifer?
Neba.
Okay, me too.
I'm from Point of Bayamayo. Yeah, my boss must have knew with him, mamma. All
right.
Sure. Ghana won't. Yan ye na ye MPP. Ghana, ye will come a drip to 60 years now, ye MPP aban.
People, I then.
Shesika and you are would not painful, wordy. If you will do what's in parliament, was some for assembler, what the Amanyanama innocent, I end this Kennedy, was some assembler, so was some of the Amaya. Them go from 21 deserve there what to Abama one. Now, so 1 constituency for what to Abama was in parliament. If your young people fire of I want your home was fair radio there. Them can say, what two more defend? Oh, MPP for. And then the man would have someone while in one. Na one Bwagana for. More than the Wobber Fools can be disca. Then, Mommy, a Padea catch MPP from what after day. One penny biala when you the way this Kibialan. And this for what you want to go. Then, one son of what you want to go. One can tell from them of farmer. What to mantle with home. One says what you want to go. One can tell from them of farmer why you aren't to a chair with home. No way parliamentarians.
When I say Bebre, Yamin call by me Jennifer. Every time for Fred Fubiabio is a sea our ha. Yeriko ye name. Women know Dodge Mezi in our security. Commander, there was just a minute to pay all the year. So, Mammy, this message in fuel and Yanko. I was a sanitation guard and we were paid 100 cities and yet they are owing us 14 months. Commander, Yankwe.
Okay, so the question, last one, may read 14 months.
14 months.
Can Zoom Lion say there? Abanos is one call, youth employment is one call 14 months. So why that add the Mexican? Nintia, Mama. But Monsieur, you know, Anomia, what can say? Can baby, I was do Wyoming now. I mean, yeah, this castle, Wyoming real. And you now want to know Wyoming, Gargantuano, one chenzi, or young people from water dama, and you manabia. Abatina do 8 years a miracle. Menda Sikot said that make his impahoma Yakawa Sama. As I say, introduce Wyoming Abayan discussion with him. Not today, Yakwana Yaraba. A woman. Wapeda Yakwana, young son, Hitch. Shadamu, another monument to that. Wyoming, Wyoming, oh, Gargantuano, one change, MPP no try.
All right, Commander.
But your mother, necessary, I'm a man,
oh, my mom just a brasso. Just a minute, just a minute.
Just a minute. You appreciate it. Necessary midwives when you do. I hand it. You also so. Na Wagana Nabako Salmon. Abana, Ozzy, the incentives wasn't my workers are walking crassy. Kajuman. Or Yendi Saban, you started war. Teachers, you started one of them, you started my yafano. Teachers bungalows. Yeah, head teachers bungalows. Yeah, to the extent there. I want to walk on crassing Yamahanandama. We have not moved away from that concept. And this in yonder, never can a nurse be or catch us with crassy on ya. Yabaka the mean Panebeja and Asarum. You see, one of the things that ye wage mumpany there. Most of the things someone call phone crashing crashes, so many be a light. But I'm a minimum crown, most of the minimum 1994.
All right.
A Jumako and Yan is Siam, not light in your end is when I was away. We have my service war, it's a kuma, it's a move for Jumako and Marco. Chufu person and Nanka Ado, other call. So this three, Nina, where than we critique. So that light in the call, a corner call, when you sue, network you good, the Mukro no than on your class. Into your sadness is the Waba. When you are but Tarmahin. When you are but Tarmahin, my woman.
Okay.
Not similar one is 2009. It's my more in view.
Okay.
On a Sanga spine about it.
All right.
So, but government met them.
Commander, I would also urge you that, I mean, some of your communicators, you need to talk to them. Party when you communicators, issues bad. When you want to casa.
Mama casa me.
Commander, they see me that say.
The master me be a seda.
Right.
Mo osi you know. I can't abandon father the year.
Oba
Faduna 2009 endis. The same thing I had than ye. Usandem paying for say. Says soon. Name 2 minutes was a monawa edge. What to about my hand? Until our duty is to make sure that one come back home. Until Kakabia Yabaya and you Jababan.
Never make when we are communicators. I know when you are Nakasa.
I was a Honkasa.
Mati. Yeah, you know, you're too awful. Game Park could chop. Game Park is a big culture there, and they big cash out for Game Park for male. And 18,000 winners. 18,000 winners. And what we need. Also, when we need more than 3.8 million Ghana cedis. On the end, that's star 946 hash. Now, once you play the Game Park Chop Nibi, your winnings go from 26 times to 30 times. And it's okay to go from 26 to 30 times once I can ever hold. Once again, that star 946 hash. Now be part of Game Park Chop. The maso na oye Betway Aviator Challenge into you wanna watch Aviator and win him. The more we ebo kosono, and I say Elumina. And see, also, you will get guaranteed free flight daily when you play Aviator every day until the 30th of June. 500,000 cash prize. Mobile buying. Possible team Navy. Casanando also do. As any be in coma, or me production team headed by Mr. Bernardo Go. Osman, my co-host, FKK, the Master Blackus, training to L Facebook, then also on YouTube. Ridge Royal Hotel, Lonats, Anointed Engineering, Telecel, and Afi Hisense, Winning and So Boy, and my Ezebray. Aha, and at the Friday's edition of Meman Hodo will draw the curtains. God bless you. God willing, Monday, the best in Asia. Have a wonderful and blissful weekend. Bye bye.